said I don't confess to it? What if I told you I don't cringe to it? What if I looked you up and said it in these faces? Said your kids love my shit, iPod's proof I'm that nigga. Check your kids' music, life lessons. I humble up every time I stumble up. I'm just that lion that ain't crying while I bust the jungle up. Scanny taught me that some friends are really temporary. Betty taught me that my little sister's looking at me. I tell you how I feel. How I feel to be a black man with your fist in there trying to fight for your rights. And how I feel to be a nigga with your finger on the trigger, put a price on his life. And how I feel to be a broke boy, anything in the bank ain't staying on his nights. And how I feel to be richer when every motherfucker trying to get it down. Open up your mind. We from the west side, we born to ride. They set us up for demise, it's time to rise. Am I a black king cause I'm full of pride? Or am I a nigga cause I like my chicken fried? My girl with thicker thighs, a Tina ride to hide me while I'm getting high. My cousin died, that left me sick inside. He 96, barely six, begging hypnotized. Thinking Biggie, damn I miss my cousin. Say that every time I rap, never gonna get tired of that. Count racks with my pack, that's where you can find me at. In the cut, cause it's too many niggas that's switching up. When you up, they love you, but when you down, they don't give a fuck. I tell you what, you pick your turn cause you got put on. But what is you doing to put your hood on? I was the young nigga with the hood on, hands in my pockets and clutch until I realized we was all dying for nothing. So let me ask you something. How I feel to be a black man with your fists in the air trying to fight for your rights. And how I feel to be a nigga with your finger on the trigger, put a price on his life. And how I feel to be a broke boy, anything in the bank ain't staying on his nights. And how I feel to be richer when every motherfucker trying to get it down. Open up your mouth, niggas slow down, moving too fast. This might crash, might burn. Open up your mind, take your time, baby, better wait your turn. Niggas slow down, moving too fast. This might crash, might burn. Open up your mind, take your time, baby, better wait your turn. I got my hoodie on like Trayvon. They letting people get away with them hate crimes. Police shot him, how was it no witness? It was daytime. Where this shit going, it's like racism still alive. Come at you all and represent what your life on. Young black king just shining with our ice on. On stage telling you life stories, keep the lights on. Y'all been eating, but my people, we would like some. The youth need hope, the inspiration, they can use it now. I'm up your music when it died or when I'm feeling down. I'm loud on my mind, I still try to use a smile. Just some young hot boy, they treat us like some juvenile.
Remember the house parties when they slow down to the pretty rich?
I remember this one house party. I had to sleep in a U-Haul after the party. I couldn't even go home. Yeah, I couldn't go home. I slept in the U-Haul. Yoshi. Ever South Farm and Rockaware? Oh man, my G3 Osiris. Yo, who remembers 7 to 7? Oh, man. This kids really don't even know what the hell is 7 to 7. Man, 24, 7 to 7. Kids don't even go outside anymore. Like, I remember when we really used to go outside, right? Our bikes, just out the fences, ugly, throwing rocks. I remember being a kid.
Now what y'all want me to do? Keep your shit the hardest. It's about to go down. Niggas is ready to start this. Boy, that's for sure. They can really get it. You ride it down, ride. Cause I think it's real. What y'all want me to do? Keep your shit the hardest. It's about to go down. Niggas is ready to start this. Boy, that's for sure. They can really get it. You ride it down, ride. Cause I think I'm on monopoly money, but I ain't even have the house full. 2 words you never hear the house full. And that's how true they can be that. Cause I can't see that. I'm ready to get up when you think that's real good. So ready to be that. Believe that frequency. That's what getting true for me. And I will tell you what I do, but then I have to tell you. And it ain't even working. I ain't gonna build nothing. Trying to expect you to go with that same nigga. Still funny, laughing and shit. Like you see something funny. But you say it sounds good, but let me see something funny. Yeah.
Yeah, we're just trying to get some more subscribers. Hey, welcome to Code Talk. Yeah, they can come and get it. This is with it. Let's see here, get a band up here.
What's up, man? What's your name?
My name's Lily.
Where you from, man?
I'm from London.
That's the accent. What you playing?
Actually, I'm like 50.
Oh, you gonna be 50? Okay. What want to be 50?
I want to be 50. I want to feel 50.
I'm saying, what you trying to do to be 50?
I
You trying to do something? I'm trying to get your jaws with or something? You ain't trying to hear that?
No, I'm trying to get my lips spread when I'm 50.
Say it, man. You know, I'm really from Queens. I'm from.
For my time goes by, they gon' get a nigga Jersey in the sky. Treat a nigga right, big dreaming of my life. Shorty wanna get some air, I go and get up when I fly. Taking off from these niggas, I retire. The minute I get fired, the smoke them up before, just revisiting the high. How we did it till they come in, ain't no giving up and now we ain't never shit on level, though it couldn't be a time. See me when you're talking, cause the eyes don't lie. Rather leave this bitch early than watch time go by. She better have that light, that eye. I feel like every color ride goes by. I know God for me, give a fuck about it, money. It's funny, everybody got no business about some money. They either making everything all right or ugly. I'm alone, the stars full of balls, God hungry. This life ain't pretty, should be ugly, I'll be dying. We better than the words, everybody like it, they be lying. Probably never hunger, ever hungry, I'm a lion. Cool, let my jewels, boy, you touch it, then you friend. Spitter of the city, what the fuck is you about it? My style is going anywhere, you ducking and you hiding. Never get again, put that on a couple of medallions. We don't care about nothing, then we bother. We ride a nigga, eat your nigga, eat him, eat it when it rain. I keep in the deliver, I'm a people with a thing. Got a title to the city when they get a rubber chain. I'ma keep it to the books when I'm people be the same. 20 years later, I'm a king. Awesome, hallelujah, see my cross show. Rolling on the harvest, Stephen King on a song note. Life short, though, heaven's huge, we can all go. The people that you shit on your way up, shit right back on your way down. Not to mention niggas going for no reason, never cared, didn't fucking think it matters what they say now. I've been on my only shit, sorry you don't see me, bro. Shades till they show me, so I bought it with the media. I pray the money comes, something told me it'd be easier. Voices lied to me, turn the hook and let it be. I don't need no backup shit, I'm back against the wall. Keep your words small, never know who's typing in your call. Feel the long road, better off you struggle when you roll. Maybe cause you big, hit them with the sauce, spiders with the force, stand up for the lost, of a beat up with the look of it.
Yo. Hey, man. Y'all see the true or false? Hey, man. What's going on? I appreciate y'all making it back to kick it with me for Code Talk. And joining in the discussion. You know? How was your day? You know? What's going on? This is a week. This is the end of the week where you chill, you know. People probably gonna tap in and join with me later on, you know. It's early. It's Friday. And you know, it's just time to unwind, kick it with your boy. I'm gonna let it run for a little while, you know what I'm saying? Let some people get in here, but you know, I appreciate all the supports we've been getting for
this platform. And I need you guys to like and subscribe. You know what I'm saying? Click the link tree that's in the caption. Find my Patreon. Go ahead and become a subscriber. It's gonna be more content coming, a lot more videos, a whole lot of stuff, man. Shout out to TGH Dre, shout out to UPC. No question about the promotion. Man, we got a lot of great stuff coming at you guys, and I'm just glad that I can be a voice in it. You know what I'm saying? Come check out the merch. You see your boy. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be exclusive at the Wow, man. You see it. I'll let your boy. So I'm gonna step away for a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Let y'all hang out. Who we got on here with us? I see a couple people watching right now. Who in here? Because I got my Facebook feed up on this screen, and then I'm waiting on you, whoever it is. If y'all can hear me, say something. Say something if you can hear me. Get in the comments. You know what I'm saying? What y'all got going on? Let's see here. What's over here? What y'all doing, man? Yeah, man. So goal is to take this platform and and make it the community's platform. I got my books, as you see right here, the code. We'll adjust the camera view as we get more people coming in, but we want to have a personal unwinding experience. You know what I'm saying? We want to discuss what's going on in this crazy world that we're a part of, and bring visibility to, like conflict resolution, new ways to solve problems, new ways to hear each other, new ways to promote peace. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm here to do. That's just my purpose. You know what I'm saying? What I align myself with, and I just want to reach out to like-minded people. You know what I'm saying? That want the same thing, that have a lot to contribute to the conversation of group economics, generational wealth, and more importantly, peace. So for those of you that that follow my social media, I made some posts recently that was talking about quite a few different things when it comes down to like either code, comes down to just the improvement of quality of life. So one of the revelations I had recently was that, is it possible? Discovering a new question is a big thing for me, because a lot of times when I ask a question or I'm forming a question, people can misread why I'm asking the question. You know what I'm saying? And the reason I'm asking the question on this one is because we're having a conversation about economic freedom, in a capitalistic society. So we got to talk about, how do we get out of those cycles and how to break generational curses. So one of the questions that I wound up, forming was, is it possible that the population of women that are in the matrix, how much of an impact is that having? There are men that's in the matrix too, but like when you start talking about women being in the matrix and men being in the matrix, and who's more likely to unplug, or remain, in the matrix. And so it became a true or false question whether or not men do it more or women do it more, And the initial trigger in that thought is for one to try to compete with the idea that that's even a question. But the reality is that the question has to be asked, because that determines who you choose, you know what I'm saying, to spend your time with in some way, shape, or form. And not just romantic relationships. We're just talking about relationships that improve your intellectual well-being, you know what I'm saying? Getting with somebody that doesn't make you stupid, you know, or overlooking, things like we like to call as red flags. The overlooking of red flags to me shows, you know what I'm saying, a commitment to being part of the matrix, or a lack of situational awareness, even knowing that the role that they're playing in the matrix is reaching a repetitive cycle, which means, you know what I'm saying, you got to reprogram yourself or submit to failure, submit to being misunderstood, and then being defeated by it. You could submit to being misunderstood and repurpose that. You know what I'm saying? And treat that as your boundary for a good reason. Not because they won't commit to you, but because you didn't commit to someone that wasn't a believer in you. You didn't have to try to go convince them of what you were, of what your worth was. You know, so when you start having that conversation about who's in the matrix and who isn't, and what their role is, and things of that nature, you start really looking at it like, who affects the population the most and in what way. So all of us in the matrix to some degree. It's about recognizing what your role is in the matrix and recognizing other people's roles. Some folks are agitators on purpose. Like they just built into the game, no different than, I don't know, Bullet Bill on Mario Brothers or something, Because what else explains the repetitive behavior of the types of individuals that disappoint you, let you down, misread you, you know what I'm saying, misquote you, disrespect you, and it's just a constant cycle, right? You constantly meet these people. You're constantly misunderstood, you know what I'm saying, misquoted, misread, maybe not even acknowledged, because maybe you're existing outside of the program, or the people that are trying to be acknowledged that make great issue out of not being seen or recognized, and they fight to be recognized, and that becomes their story every time they introduce themselves. They're telling everybody why they've been, outcasted, they're a black sheep, and they use canned phrases to describe why they are alone in their thoughts. And it's just a certain type of code and language that you can hear, that they are shaping a preconceived outcome because they're so used to being in battle. You know what I'm saying? That they have insecure explanations about their past. And it's not that they're a victim, it's just that that's the programming of the matrix, because we try to speak in a code that other people can understand, because we want to know if there's a feeler out there for a like-minded individual. Because like-minded individuals aren't always gathering on positive things. You know what I'm saying? So when you start talking about these different variables that both genders in our society are susceptible to or have demonstrated behavior on, because I've done it, you know what I'm saying? All of us have done it, have done some behavior that we can't explain why we did it, and we never done it again, and it was just a weird space in our life. Those are like glitches, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's like that one-off moment, and even in the process while you was doing it, you just said, man, I don't even know why I did this, and you did it to yourself. So at some point, you gotta have the accountability conversation. And I don't care if you blame it on the matrix, but it allows you to be able to say with a, with a third party view, that the old version of yourself was on some bullshit. You know what I'm saying? That's what it allows you to do. It allows you to align yourself with the idea of change, the idea of growth and maturity. So when you come down to the original question, true or false, which one of us is more susceptible to being entangled in the matrix and wanting to stay in it, wanting to fight for a position in the matrix just so they can be disrespected and not valued by the right people. You know, there's a commitment to being part of the matrix, especially when you recognize that it exists. There's something to be said about that. So like in this community, when you start talking about elevating, and by community I mean the entrepreneur community, the people that are self-made in many areas. Most of us have, you know what I'm saying, based our existence on defeating, you know what I'm saying, generational curses, that the matrix is the ground for, you know, because we have committed ourselves to understanding that we can't control the matrix, but we can choose our role within it. We can choose how we affect people that are in the matrix, that we recognize that we have to responsibly communicate with them without demeaning who they are, you know what I'm saying, without demeaning their understanding. So that goes into the conflict resolution, you know what I'm saying, the recognizing, the recognition of, there were times in your life where, you know, you were getting a resistance that you couldn't understand. And so now that you couldn't understand, now that you got past the fact that you couldn't understand it, and you have a better grasp of, you know what I'm saying, why it took place and what your role was in it, now you've arrived at purpose. So within the matrix, what is your purpose? You know what I'm saying? Are you an agitator? Are you an oracle? Are you here to guide someone? You know what I'm saying? There's something to think about, man. Hey, I'm gonna let y'all hang out here for a little bit. Night is young. We got a lot to talk about. Hey, man, but check the caption. Make sure you go click the free ticket link for tonight's live stream. I need your support. You know, we got a lot of great stuff going on. We're ready to set up a COVID testing site, a few of them, and we want to do our role in helping make the community realize that there's resources around. You know what I'm saying? So you can try to stay healthy for their own families. You know, that's what it's about right now for us. Uh, you know, UPC University is focused on doing the work that it takes to build economic wealth, generational wealth, so we can take these conversations away from ourselves. Like the key to unlocking, you know, a greater quality of life within this matrix is going to be through economics. And, you know what I'm saying, numbers don't lie, you know. So you can't pick and choose when they are effective. So it's something to think about. All right, now. But y'all let me know what you think, man. Check the caption. You know what I'm saying? Get at me. Call in. Don't be afraid. We're going to chop it up tonight. Let's relax. It's young.
Was getting chubby cause this honey just kept cooking for me. She had me back and forth to campus every couple of weeks. She used to bust up the kitchen, I used to bust up the cheeks. Gave her what I was capable of, but she wanted more. Sorry baby, those feelings are things that we should ignore. Understand my intent, disrespect was never meant. Hope you know he need regret, she gave me, we can't remain friends. A year later, I'm kicking it with my southern belle. She been there, we had her, and they she put me through hell. Well, with you and I want, girl, it ain't so different. Someone to talk, someone to feel, it's no commitment. You need convincing, well, I'll be here if you need me to listen. Or a bet to christen, but just that far, cause you're too distant.
Whole week I had a body under my supervision. Her legs in division. She hit them Honda from this musician. I ain't kidding. I ain't your man, but your man ain't better than me. You really better than whatever that you want me to be. It doesn't matter if I give you everything that you need. I take it there when we're here. If the loving is real, I ain't your man, but your man ain't better than me. You really better than whatever that you want me to be. It doesn't matter if I give you everything that you need. I take it there when we're here. If the loving is real. Give me a cover, right? About the cover season. What do you say? We'll see you next summer. Let's go meet somebody else. I don't know. Maybe you can pull things up this way, right?
This how the jeans and the hands of the dough. Bottle of that rope, say, pass me some more. I got more cars, got more flow, more money, these motels too. More bottles and motels too. The ring rocks got a lot of dough too. Raise up in the weather, hit the burn like a sunset. Take it out of context, run with that big thing, looking like a bomb.
Yo. What's going on, brother Troy? Hang on now. Let me. Troy, you got a minute? You want to get on here? What's up, brother? Hey, man. Hey, man, how you doing, bro? How was your day?
Man, good. So far, so good. How about you?
Outstanding. Never a dull moment, you know. I know we was meaning to catch back up. I'm actually on StreamYard. You want to get on StreamYard?
Yeah, text me the link.
I'll text you the link. All right. Man. Here we go. It's coming at you in a second. My boy Troy about to call in and chop it up. Let's see what we got. Waiting on Troy to get back. Here we go. There he is.
Yo, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
We live.
Yeah.
Go. What's up this Good Friday, man? It's a good Friday.
What's going on with it, bro? I've been you know what I'm saying, doing a little in-house production and stuff and messing around with, you know what I'm saying, my equipment and and really been, you know what I'm saying, like working on getting better with setting up and get configured and stuff, man, you know, living a whole type of creation type of way of moving, you know what I'm saying?
I tell people, man, this is there's so many right ways to do this that it takes practice, you know, and sometimes you just got to go live and see who's down. I happened to come back into my office and was reading something. I was actually talking to my homie and said, hold on, man, I see Vic on. Let me see what Vic talking about.
Yeah. So this is really an extension of, like, by the time that, you know, we spoke recently, um, I had already had like a couple other conversations with a few of my friends
Yeah.
about like the Matrix, not necessarily just the movie, but we can't really talk about the Matrix without talking about the movie. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Right.
But one of the conversations that I was having was rooted in which one of us is more dug into the Matrix. You know what I'm saying? Like between men and women in relationships, especially in the context of being with an entrepreneur. You know?
Yeah. I'm just sharing this to a
Yeah,
couple groups. I'm listening to
yeah.
you.
It's gonna be a good conversation, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So, I was just on the phone with a good friend of mine. And as we talk about, say like the Matrix type of stuff, but we talk about different generations. And the people who are a little bit older than me benefited from affirmative action. And I'm going somewhere with this, right?
Okay.
And so basically, they were told if you went to college, you got a degree, they're going to hire you because they need a certain amount of black people. It's affirmative action. This is a government program. And you, in the mind of the white people, you weren't that good, but you were probably better or really good. But then there was a big backlash. And so people from my age group, we didn't get it. And so you got these older black professionals who are saying, what's wrong with y'all? Not
Yeah.
knowing they benefited from these government programs.
Mhm.
Now the new thing is no more affirmative action. Now it's diversity. And this diversity is welcoming people into the matrix or into the workforce. And
It
so
really is.
those are the people who think we're better than you. And what's going to happen is there going to be backlash against that, right?
Mhm.
And the people 10 years younger are not going to benefit. And so what happens is the perspective of a lot of people. That's why you have to be an entrepreneur in my mind, is because the government put those black boomers in position. The government is putting a lot of our sisters in position to reach these high lofty goals. But what happens is when they pull the rug, the people behind you don't benefit. Then we turn around and judge them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah. That's very true. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? It's like that's why you can't shame anyone. You know
Man.
what I'm saying? You just don't know what you don't know. You know, and that's like you get conditioned right away.
Yeah. You don't know the journey that a person's on. I remember this one brother we met in a sports group, and I can't think of his name, but you'll know his name. It was a white dude who went to a HBCU who married a sister who ended up Sam.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I remember Sam was really just not happy with his lot of where he was based on the amount of student debt he had accumulated,
Yeah.
right? And he was always on that. But then he joined the military. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And his life it kind of changed. But had he done that first, he would have never had that level of student debt.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely, man. Like people, it's amazing what you're willing to trade in order to attain, you know what I'm saying, a credential that you hope people recognize,
Right.
you know, and that you hope there's work for, that you hope that you can grow with. Because a lot of times, man, you get into something and it's got a ceiling.
Yeah.
And that
When I was
ceiling,
saying that about Sam, his conversation was it was judgmental against everyone who maybe didn't value education or wasn't willing to take the risk to go $100,000 into student debt. Whereas from my perspective, when I joined the military, people was like, "Oh man, I think I heard you say this, or your boy B, you going to this white man's war." Well, I'm just trying not to go to this white man's jail. You
yeah,
know what I'm saying? I'd rather fight in his war.
yeah, you're gonna get a uniform. If I got a chance to choose a uniform, I'm gonna choose the one with the benefits.
Hey man, I want mine with the name on the front, not the number.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I'm saying? Like, the narrative has been changed on a lot of different things, and that's a big one. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah,
Because it just goes to show you that if you go in with the right agenda, you know what I'm saying, for the military,
right.
you can really benefit from it. You know what I'm
Well, let me
saying?
tell you my agenda, and I didn't even know I had one. What I did know though, that minimum wage was $3.35 an hour.
Yeah.
The economy was bad. I was getting 10 hours a week, right? And the boss, I was working at Bell's department store. The boss, Mr. Green, was a friend of mine. So Mr. Green, me and his son went to school together. So Mr. Green was showing me preferential treatment. I was still getting 10 hours.
Mm-hmm.
I had a baby. It's $3.35 an hour, and all my homies was selling dope.
Yeah.
And so my next step was to sell dope because that's what we was all on, right?
Yeah.
And I decided early on that I wouldn't make a good dope dealer because I couldn't not hurt my community, because if you're gonna smoke, go ahead and smoke. I'm talking about if I had to enact violence on someone for shorting me $20 or $40, that wasn't my thing.
Yeah.
So I had a clean record, good credit, and I was smart and scored very high on the ASVAB. I went and seen a recruiter, and I told him where I lived, and he's like, "Oh, you in Compton? I ain't never had nobody sign up in Compton." He came and picked me up in a Benz 190E. And he said, "Hey man, you know what?" And he told me the benefits. And I said, "Shoot, where do I sign?"
Yeah.
You know, and a few months later, I was gone.
So
And when I look back, some of my friends didn't make it. You know, rest in peace. Some friends wish they would have went when I went. A couple went to college, and they matriculated through the corporate space and did their thing. But I am not unhappy about what the foundation that the U.S. military provided me, and that I benefit from. What's his name say? What's his name? Your boy from Alabama. To this day, yeah,
Deontay Wilder, yeah.
still benefiting to this day.
Yeah. It's a thing, man. It's like, what are you willing to trade? And when you start thinking about like what you're willing to trade just to go stay free, stay an employee, at some point you recognize that that's a glitch in the matrix. So like,
Yeah.
Because if smarter people have lived and died, and their life's work that we learn and study from, people like Socrates and Plato, whatever, right? People that have been immortalized pretty much in education or for their experience, their personal experience, right? We still have yet to take that information, infuse it, and break generational cycles and curses that lead us away from the having to know and experience these different things that made entrepreneurship the only thing that made sense.
Let me ask you a question, Vic.
What's up?
Get your opinion.
All right.
Because I was sitting here thinking today, I was listening to this brother who calls today's economy the decayed stimulus economy. So I met a dude who was making 10 grand a month on DoorDash, 6 or 8 months ago, right? Mm-hmm. But that's because there was a lot of stimulus money in the economy. Well, now that money's out, the DoorDash people back to making DoorDash money. You know what I'm saying? And I wonder, what's the path to middle class for an 18-year-old kid right now, or a 21-year-old kid? Other than the military, what's the path to something that's disappearing, which is the middle class, if at all?
There's no more middle class. It's over with. It's
over. We were the last ones, huh?
Yep. Yeah. Middle class is it's a utopian idea. That's the golden era. You know what I'm saying? Like that's like the gold rush in California. You know what I'm saying? It's like you heard about it and then it went away. And it didn't come back again. And a
lot of broken dreams. We hear about the 1-2 people who were successful. A lot of broken dreams.
Yeah, it's just like, in the early 2000s or early 2010s, you see a lot of these Facebook posts about young kids that were super smart and graduating college at 14 and 15 years old.
Yeah.
And not to be in nobody's business, but where are they?
Man, I say that all the time, Vic. Let's go there.
Yeah, and how effective can they be? Because to me, those people were outside of the matrix. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And they gave us indications that if you set yourselves up the right way, you can create, an exit strategy out of the matrix through your children. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but let
Like,
me tell you what happened though, because I had a child who was almost caught up in that, right?
yeah,
And when you put a kid on the college campus at 12 and 13 years old,
hmm
that's like putting someone in the military. Let's just say they're not going to college; they're going to the military.
right.
The military would eat a 12-year-old kid up.
Oh
They
yeah,
can't experience the things that soldiers experience. So if you're 12 and you're on a college campus, the number one thing, in my opinion, long term that happens in college is not the degree. It's the network you create that your drinking buddy may be the CEO of a Fortune 100 company in 20 years. And he's in your frat. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
real. That is a real life thing. You don't know what people are gonna become.
Yeah. Yeah. And so in college, if you're not eligible for the extracurricular, meaning the drinking and the screwing and the toga parties or whatever they do in college, the camaraderie is not gonna that's the jail. So like, remember your early days in the military, you're living in the dorms, you're with your homies, y'all slap boxing, you're drinking cheap liquor,
Yep.
you stand up eating pizza that was from the day before. That's what started creating those relationships.
Yeah,
You know? And so I said all that to say this, Vic. My daughter started college at 14, right? She was homeschooled. She gets to college campus at 17. And she came back home and said, Dad, I didn't have any high school memories. What was the rush? So when she got to college, all her friends were like prom queens and student body presidents and all these things. And she didn't have any high school memories. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. That's
Um, and fortunately, she has the resume of a 37-year-old and she's 27 because once we found out that we were pushing her too fast, we slowed down.
yeah,
But when you put a kid on a college campus and you never hear from that person again, you're not hearing from that 13-year-old smart kid. And hopefully he's an astrophysicist and you don't need to hear from him. He's over there at NASA, solving world problems.
yeah,
But the social intelligence that we developed as being soldiers,
yeah,
airmen, that can't be taken away. You know what I'm saying? If you take that away, that's like these fake soldiers who wear the badges and stuff. You know what I'm saying? That's why
stolen valor.
we get on them so heavy because they weren't in the trenches. Even if the trenches was just a 10-mile walk, even if the trenches was me living in Korea for a year, being away from my family, it don't have to be I'm staring down the barrel of an M16. It can be,
Yeah,
that high interest loan we all know that we got taken advantage of. Or what's that? DPP? What was that?
Star
Deferred. The BX, the one they gave you that money at the BX that you paid, that came out your check. What was that called?
I don't know, man. Somebody scared me, so I think it was DPP. But like, I think I got scared out of that. That
That's
was one of
good.
the first- yeah, I mean, I thought that was useful. You know what I'm saying?
No one told you.
Yeah, somebody told me something.
Yeah.
And it was like one of the things where I said, nope, I don't want nothing to do with it. It ain't necessary. I'm cool.
Hey, when you were in the Army, and when I was in the Air Force, in order to get a car loan, your first car loan, we got it from the credit union on the base, but our first sergeant had to sign for it to make sure we wasn't getting beat. Did you guys have some guides in place for that when you were in the Army?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, we had the conversation, what I'm saying, that was there. The outcome,
Yeah.
that's something else.
Oh, we still got taken advantage of, but it was, yeah.
Yeah, so like I was I was fortunate enough to have people around that scared me for the right reasons on things that I was gonna benefit from, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If I acted on, there's a big difference in making your own mistakes and then ignoring guidance and then making a mistake that somebody's trying to keep you from,
Yeah. Well, here's what I think the path to the middle class is. At this point, the way the economy works today. Now, this is just my personal opinion. This is not financial information. But it has to be, you have to control or own assets.
Mhm.
Your parents. So,
Yes.
So as a parent at this level, the with the real estate holders that we may have, or the vehicles that are paid off, or the things that we can set the kids up for so they don't have to start over,
Yeah.
that's going to be the path in. Because if
I'm
you're
still here.
renting right now,
Mhm.
and you can't afford the median household, the median house cost in Dallas is $413,000.
Wow.
So that means that your household income has to be between 80 and 100,000, I'd imagine, probably even more. I don't know, to qualify for a house today. Otherwise, you're going to pay rent that's going to be higher than a mortgage on a $400,000 house.
Yeah, you're talking $2,700 a month.
Yes. And so if this $400,000 house becomes worth $600,000, I ain't got to tell you what just got created.
Equity.
Yeah, and that can be, and the reason I was thinking about this is because as Black people, we want to make sure our kids can jump high so they can get college for free.
Mm-hmm.
Right. But something happens, Vic, along the way with these colleges if you write a check. And I think sometimes we have to stop playing low and going for the free and put ourselves in the position where we can pay, where we have the ability to make a financial decision and we don't have to beg and crawl through the back door and be a servant to this organization that we're just using to get to the next level.
Yes.
You know, man?
Yes. See, if you market school as a goal instead of a step in the process,
Right.
you get people that just sign up to be part of the program. You
Yeah.
know,
It should be second base at best.
for real. You know, it should be like education to understand the matrix.
Right.
So I think that that's part of like that's like a decision making point is for any reasonable adult that has a talent, that you're giving your talents to people that don't celebrate you,
Right.
that don't promote you, that don't add any value to your future plan, right? And you create resentment for yourself when those programs, those people that are just built-in resistance and agitators to your goal are really just responding in a way to make you realize that you're reaching the end of your program and it's time to shift. So who's more or less likely to break that cycle? Do you think that that's men? Do you think that's women? You know what I'm saying? Because the reason I ask that is because it's a conversation that's rooted in, is it the best for the family or the household unit structure, right?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
sometimes you got to go against the matrix to save the family, to grow the family, and in order to survive at a different level of comfort within the matrix, because we're still gonna be part of it. I'm by no means am I saying it like some of us are in a better position. We still live in a capitalist society, so economics is always part of that conversation. You know.
Well, when you talk about that society, and now I hope I'm not switching gears too far. I want to address a post you made. Now, you made a post about love in a capitalist society.
Mm-hmm.
Speak on that, man, because I thought that was pretty deep. I think I might have left a comment, but that's one of the ones you have to sit with because it's so true.
Yeah.
You're so undisputable. People will dispute it. But, you know, it's a man who's been married for, 27 years. Love is not the glue.
No.
Yeah. So talk about what you meant by that post.
Yeah. So that post came to me because what we do individually as human beings is relative to our economic level of comfort.
Yes.
So, like, for instance, it's Friday night right now. You and I are having this conversation because our economic situations affords us the opportunity to talk about what we've experienced in life.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Like, even if you're not right, even if it's just about having time available to create. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because we could have had this same conversation Wednesday. We did have this conversation Wednesday, 11 a.m. when, most people would probably be, busy at work at that time. I think we talked an hour.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
And there are people at work right now because they can't afford to be off.
Right.
Because they need to go get the money to maintain whatever quality of life they have. Your schedule is dictated off your quality of life
Right.
and what you have to do for money. You know what I'm saying? So
What
like,
you have to do for money.
so like, if you took away the need for funds, like meaning that like you got enough money to take care of everything that you go to work for,
Mhm.
what do you do with your time? Then let's say you do something with your time. What are you creating with your time? Who does it help? Who benefits? Bottom line, right?
Right.
If you can't figure out what you would do with your time if you had it back, you probably haven't discovered your purpose yet.
Mm.
But
Because if you don't, you'll just look at ESPN and knowing that you like I heard that again because it repeats every 30 minutes.
yes, exactly. In the Matrix, because the Matrix is a series of things that repeat itself. You know what I'm saying? That lets you like you when you find yourself complaining about the repetition of stuff, that's an indication that you need to shift.
Right. Here it is. I want to read it word for word. I went back and found it. In a
Okay.
capitalist society, you don't know love until you remove the need for economic dependence. And I was watching a show called 1883 on the Paramount channel. It's about this family. It's about these immigrants catching the wagon from Fort Worth trying to get to Oregon.
Mm-hmm.
And along the way, one of the immigrants' wife dies, a husband dies. And she walked up to the captain, who was an old white dude, and said, listen, I could be your wife.
Mm-hmm.
I could do a lot of good wife things. And I got these two boys. He's like, no, I don't want no wife. I already did that. She's like, well, I don't have any skills, and I got these two boys. And so she was a beautiful woman, and she was willing to become this dude's wife so that she can have the economic resources that she felt like he had access to.
Right.
And that's what I heard in that post. A lot of times you don't know if a person really wants to be with you if you're economically dependent on them.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
And the thing is that that's not a challenge to come make more money or nothing like that. It's a challenge to align yourself with somebody that doesn't see money as a gatekeeping metric for a relationship.
Right.
It should be a quality of life conversation. You know what I'm saying? Like when you're in a relationship, you should be thinking about like, how do I create more space for me and my partner? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But when
How do
you
we
do,
make each other better? How do we build? You know
yeah,
what I'm saying?
because you don't really get to do for love.
Mm.
You get to do to live.
Right.
A relationship is extra in a capitalist society. You know what I'm saying? But if you have a relationship in a capitalist society where you need economic partnership, that's another variable in the conversation. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But when you got enough for yourself and everybody can take care of themselves, all you come into the discussion with is who you are. The refined version of who you are by yourself when you don't need, when money isn't the motivator for you to get up every day.
Right.
Money is a tool, you know what I'm saying, to accomplish a greater task amongst people like us. You know what I'm saying?
So I
But
remember
everybody don't have it.
when you transition, I watched you have like 4 careers. You're
Yeah.
Army, right?
Yeah.
Contractor. And then that third career, I'm gonna call it real estate investor, but it was more about
It's more about that.
just like figuring it out. But now, how have you made the adjustment to, if I don't want to step outside of my home today or tomorrow or for a week, what drives you now? Because I've heard you say some things. It's like, look, I've made money this way. Now I have to make it this way. But it seemed like more of a challenge than a need.
Well, yeah, man. Look, one of the things that I discovered in myself is my purpose,
Mm-hmm.
because I'm always drawn to a challenge in some way, you know.
Powerlifting. That was your other career, even
Oh,
though
yeah. Powerlifting. It wasn't. I took it as seriously as a career because
that's what I mean.
you can't play. You can't play with that stuff, man. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? You don't put 550 pounds in your back and You know what I'm saying? And take it lightly. You know,
Right.
it's you can't have like it's just like you hear people say, you don't play boxing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's the same thing, you know. So I only get in stuff that's serious enough for me. You know what I'm saying? Where there's has to be some risk involved.
Right.
Because I don't halfway do stuff, and I like to be able to live the experience and champion the experience and say I did that. Because honestly, that's the hard way. Like a lot of people, talk about, like they had it hard in life and getting started and stuff like that. And that was one of the lies that was told. You know what I'm saying? So effortlessly, just like when people say, ain't nobody ever told me shit. They told me I wasn't gonna be shit. The teacher said I wasn't gonna do this and wasn't gonna do that. That's I guess that was cool back then. I'm sure some kids probably got that type of, what I'm saying, response. But generally speaking, a lot of those people ain't even around to tell your kids that they ain't shit.
Right.
So for me, I shift. You know what I'm saying? Once I want to go out on top on whatever I do.
Right.
What's the point of doing it if you don't do it to win? Now it's time to do something else.
It's funny you should say that because I hear a lot of parents say, or the kids when they become grown. Well, my mom or my dad, they did the best they could. I watched my mom, clean other people's houses and this, that, the other. And my goal is to retire her. and you hear those parents will say, yes, I'll do anything for my kid. I'll die for my child.
Yeah.
But my answer is always, well, will you live for them? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
A lot of times in our communities, that young mother will go become an LVN. And then she'll be an LVN for 30 years, blaming it on the kids. Well, I don't have time. Where they just took the time, hey, I'm gonna take a class to get my whatever the next thing is, RN. I'm gonna take classes. It might take me 12 years. But if you don't get hit by a chicken truck, you're gonna age 12 years and your kid's gonna be 12 years, and you're still gonna be struggling with that same CD playing in your mind is that I don't have time.
Yeah.
Right. But time is the only thing you have. Right. And if you stay stuck in your narrative from 2010, I just had a buddy who lost all of his money in 9/11. And I hear him talk about it every once in a while. It's part of his testimony. And I have to stop him and say, man, do you realize that was 20 years ago? Like, no, man. Like, I don't want to hear about the money you lost at 9/11. Like, I forgot that I was a teen parent. Well, guess what? That was 35 years ago.
Yeah.
So if I wrote a book about my life today, I don't know that would be more than a paragraph. And as I accomplish more and do more and watch my kids do this and watch my friends, it might be a footnote. Oh, by the way, this child was born when he was 19. Not like, I'm gonna make a TikTok video about how to got it from the mud. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think we get too addicted to the mud. We're not growing.
Well, I would say I think it's evolution. I think that this conversation represents the evolution that's taking place. You know what I'm saying? Like for a long time, it wasn't, like popular or trendy for men of a certain level of experience to sit down and talk about their experience without it sounding like we're competing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like now this is about sharing intellectual resource, which pushed me to shift because I have to find philosophy in what I'm doing or else I won't stay connected to it. You know what I'm saying? Because I have a purpose.
Right.
So my time means something different to me than it does for anybody else that doesn't have a self-professed or verbalized purpose. You know what I'm saying? Because when you say something out loud, you're willing to record it, document it, you're obligating yourself to the words that you already said. You are owning the contract that you're putting out. You know what I'm saying? So like that's why like the intellectual property became parallel you know what I'm saying, to my real estate, you know, because the journey is what's going to pay me back.
Right, right.
You know what I'm saying? Not the actual transaction, if that makes sense.
Well, that's why I like the work that you're doing with people like your boy B or Clarin,
Mm-hmm.
because it seemed like men from my generation and up, and we've had these discussions. So it might be sound like I repeat myself to you because we talk about this all the time.
But this is going to be the
Didn't
first time
share,
somebody heard it. Yeah, go
yeah,
ahead.
they didn't share the information.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it was for fear of that person passing. I've mentored and helped several people younger than me who have passed me on what it looks like they passed me on whatever their part of the journey was. But I'm an integral part of that space. And it's a win for me because I've put people in places that maybe I wasn't the right fit for, whether it be age wise or what have you. But I put people in position to win and watch them win. And celebrate those wins, not like, man, that should have been me. And I
Man,
think if you look at the civil rights movement that was, basically born in your hometown in Atlanta and Birmingham, if
yeah.
those guys are still alive, they're still in position. They never developed people along the way. And I think that's why it died. They came into power or prominence in their 20s. Now they're in their 80s.
Mm-hmm.
But where are the guys in their 50s and their 40s who were carrying that same message? They're not around because they didn't share the game. You know what I'm saying?
A lot of them probably didn't. They probably didn't break away to go do something on their own to become self-employed.
Mm-hmm.
And you got to think about the guidance that they were moving on. You know what I'm saying? And the inability to share information, I'd argue, is probably more rooted into not being in environments with other uplifting people, you know what I'm saying, who's willing to trade resources. Because,
Right.
like, the trading resource narrative that I'm trying to generate
Mm-hmm.
is just another layer into the generational wealth conversation, because money alone ain't gonna get it done.
Right.
That's been proven.
That's proven.
So we got to trade resources. So that comes down to time, commingling our networks, having
Information.
like this in public. You know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah.
we learn from each other all the time. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? We
Yeah.
have life experiences that we have individually that says, man, oh, I need to call Troy, or I need to call, you know what I'm saying, Vic, or you know, however that goes.
Yeah.
So when
You
you
know,
connect it
when I
to
look
each other,
when I look at you, Vic, just on the whole, it's you found purpose, right? And then as a man with no kids, I don't understand that, right?
yeah,
Because I know what my legacy is.
yeah,
But I like how your legacy is across multiple bloodlines and last names.
yes,
You know what I'm saying? And
right,
um I think that's incredible because I've always tried to figure out since I've been a parent since I was 19. So how does a person stay I don't want to say motivated, but stay on taking bigger challenges? Because right now you could chill out and do nothing. I know
good,
you. I
yeah,
know a lot about your situation.
yeah,
You can just say, you know what, I'm done. But I don't see that. I see every time I'm talking to you, I'm seeing, more and more bricks getting put in place.
yeah.
And so I think some of that might be inherited. We never talk about your old man or your family, but where does that drive come from?
Man, look, first and
Have you ever
foremost,
answered that question?
I've never been asked that question.
Okay, cool.
So first and foremost, where my drive comes from is my pops. My pops was a hard-working man. You know what I'm saying? You and my dad shared the same birthday. You know what I'm saying? So I see a lot of his work ethic in people that are connected to me.
Yeah.
And the only way that I would be connected to a person like you is if I put in work. We don't, me and trade resource, we trade work. You know what I'm saying? That's how we show if we useful or not. You know,
Right. We add value.
we add value. We pull up, you know what I'm saying? And we have the conversation that need to be had to create the plan, because We genuinely want to see the folks in our community win. We value our names in other conversations and associations with people. We care about status.
Yeah.
But we're men of a certain level of accountability, where our status separates us from you know what I'm saying, men that are still developing, right? Because at 40 or 50 years old, if you don't live that long, you can't teach nobody shit. You're a fucking oxygen thief.
Right.
Like straight up, like why are you on earth if you're not doing anything to improve yourself to help somebody else after you? You see what
Right.
I'm saying? Like,
Right.
what's the point? Like, what's the point of dealing with all the pain, all of the confusion, the toxic relationships, the need to survive the relationships? You know what I'm saying? The relationships were a result of your own programming, right?
Right. Right.
So that's why you got to get out of the matrix. And then when you fight through it and connect with those that are like yourself, you know what I'm saying? We are gap bridging relationships. We represent a lot of different things. You know what I'm saying? Like, you in the Air Force, I was in the Army. You know what I'm saying? You're what 13 years older than me, 12 years
54.
old?
I'm 54.
Yeah. So like, you know, like, you big
Which
brother.
generation? Yeah.
Yeah. But you have the skill to mentor me as a man that's got my dad's experience and age. If he
Yeah.
was
But,
still
and vice versa, because we've always called you the young OG, and you're growing
yeah,
into it.
yeah,
And it's funny to watch the evolution. Not funny. It's actually,
it's happening.
yeah,
Evolution is the word. Yes.
yeah. It's a joy to watch you use your intelligence. And I think that's why I identify with you, because I used to use my intelligence like a weapon. You know
Yes.
what I'm saying? Because I didn't want to have to fight. So let me outsmart a person and make them feel inferior,
Yes.
and watch that grow into, I'm only going to share this wisdom with people who, what you say in your exact words, I'm talking to the people who raise their hand.
Yeah. I ain't talking to nobody else that got their head down, man. You know what
Right.
I'm saying?
Right.
Like, you know, I live my life out loud and a certain level of transparency, not the flex, because we've been taught that being intelligent is a form of flexing and trying to make somebody else feel worse than what they actually are,
Right.
something like that. But think about all the dumb shit that we made okay.
Like being dumb.
Yeah, for being dumb.
Yeah.
Milk crate challenges. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Come on, man. I watched a video, some lady was inhaling an exhaust pipe. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Like, while I was running carbon monoxide challenge or some dumb shit like that.
Hey, look, man, I used to have to hide my intelligence in the neighborhood, and I used it through humor,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And then when I could no longer hide it because the schools were identifying me and putting me into higher level programs,
Mm-hmm.
my friends and community were the one teasing me because I had got elevated from an educational standpoint. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And one thing that I made sure of with my children or people in that age group is I let them know, man, being the smartest person in the room is dope. You know what I'm saying? Go in there, add value, learn what you can, and expand what you know. And don't be afraid to be smart, because I've been said I was too smart for my own good by elders, people who I loved, who said they love me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Like, you got to find a way to be a chameleon. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And really, I think that's the true test of your intelligence. Knowing that you're smart, knowing that you're going to meet resistance, knowing that people ain't going to understand you. You know what I'm saying? Understanding that you're going to always be misunderstood. That
Yeah.
because, like, the scale of thinking is different. And that's not a bad thing. It's just harder for some other people to process that.
Right.
So you have to account for an emotional response. You know what I'm saying? When you deal in the metrics of tangible things that you can control. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, once you recognize you're only responsible for how you react, then that gives you power. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of people spend a lot of time trying to make their emotional responses valid currency for solving problems.
Yeah, and it back to the only talking to people who raise their hand. When the argument I used to have back and forth with Facebook is I didn't whip my kids, and in the black community that's heresy. That's like the police gonna kill them. I'm doing it so the police won't do it. Um, you're gonna have a 30-year-old roommate. They're not gonna be respectable. Timeout don't work. And at a certain point, once I had my results, which I had when I borrowed one of your sayings, I have 3 children who won't have to recover from their childhood.
Yeah.
I stopped debating people. And a funny thing happened. I started getting a lot of inboxes for people who really wanted to make a change and see how they can implement some of these strategies, how you can build dope humans or raise dope humans with compassion, empathy, respect, boundaries, and consequences, both good and bad.
Mm-hmm.
Because in real life, if my wife upsets me, or if I upset her, she's not going to come here with a belt and beat me, right? And so we want to emulate the relationships and the things we want to see a child do when they're an adult. And no one untrains us on how to resolve conflict with violence.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And so
it really is, yeah.
Yeah. So if I've been trained for 18 years that when this person who loves me disagrees with me, they pop me. They carry that into another relationship, but now we hate domestic violence though.
Yeah.
And so just using simple logic, I'm saying I'm not going to argue with people now that I got results. I let my results do the talking.
Yeah, that's it.
You want to beat your kids, beat your kids. Hang them upside down, hang them out the window, get the switch and wet it up and have obedient kids. Now, we'll tell you this. Obedience is good in the military. It's good with circus animals. And it's good with dogs.
Yeah.
Like my dog is obedient to me.
Yeah.
I don't want my children to be that kind of obedient. I want them to have ways of processing information where they can make decisions because I'm not going to always be around. Shoot, I'm not around now. They don't live, they all grown.
Man, look, that's the best. That lets you know that you did it the right way. The goal, like, is to find a way to lead it to where it grows itself.
Yes.
Yes. I talk about, like escaping the matrix, right?
Yes.
The matrix is founded on what? Capitalistic ideas, anything that generates money, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
we with capital.
Yes, exactly. You know what I'm saying? So like, even if you're using social media for free and you're saying it's just social media, it's just this, somebody's making money off of that. You know what I'm saying? It's ad revenue. When you find out somebody's using your time to make money, you know what I'm saying? And you're just using it to, I don't know, just talk about people and, instead of talk about processes, like you're part of the matrix.
Right.
Like you're taking a different role within it. All of us are still in it.
Right. You just got to know.
Yeah. There's levels to this shit. That's just the bottom line.
Yeah. And then, one thing we always talk about is leadership. Leadership leaves clues, just like success leaves clues. Yes. You know what I'm saying? And so when I talk about leadership, I'm looking at who have you developed? Like when I look at you and I look at some of the people you work with, I can see your footprint or your leadership style on them, like the homie B and a couple other folks that I see you working with. Or you look at Bill Belichick. Look at the number of, or Nick Saban. Look how many coaches he's created that he has to go back and beat every year, except for this last time. But how many people who have trained in his ways, or Bill Belichick, he has like 6 head coaches who's learned his ways. You know what I'm saying?
When you have a purpose, successful people and healed people are your resume.
Right.
You have to go affect people. You see what I'm saying? Like, because you can't go back and explain yourself to people anymore and expect them to get it. Because you can go tell them what you done for people all day.
Mm-hmm.
And all somebody's going to hear is you bragging because they're wired to hear competition. So every word they hear is going to be in the context of somebody competing. Because they're going to feel like you're talking about your resume because you feel like you're better than other people.
Right.
Well, reality is you just trying to challenge people to come do what you're doing.
Man, look, I'm like Nick Saban. I'm like Bill Belichick. I'm letting these 8 trophies do the talking. I'm letting these, 200 people going into the draft. I'm letting these. Bill Belichick got 8-9 coaches. It's like, and he's a man of few words. He ain't pumped his chest one time.
He ain't flexing. He don't need to.
Right.
Wait for Sunday when you
Yeah.
watching the Eagles play the Cowboys and you got to count how many Bama players are playing each other. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like,
Switching jerseys
what are we
after the
talking
game.
about? What are we talking about? You know what I'm
Hey,
saying?
look, you got Bama players that left Bama because of the competition and still made it to the league, like Kamara.
Mm-hmm.
Who said, man, what did I sign up for? He said he was in the running back room with Derrick Henry, which is intimidating by itself.
He was in there with Damian Harris, Derrick Henry.
Yeah. He said it was like 7 people who made it to the league in that room.
Right. You know what I'm saying?
Like, what did I do?
Yeah. Shoot. Blake Sims came there as a running back.
Yeah.
Behind Trent Mark and Eddie Lacy and Justin Fowler. He had to wait to play quarterback. But
speaking of Alabama, the thing I like about the program is that you have to be success-minded to go, because all the pit bulls are going there. And like Alvin Kamara said, he was a pit bull everywhere he was, but he was just the smallest pit bull at Alabama. He got hurt, of course, and then I think he went to junior college. He got in trouble. Then he went to Tennessee.
Yeah.
But when you sign that dotted line, you're saying, I know I can go to East Tennessee State or this place and get some run. But my goal is not to be the best college player. My goal is to be in the NFL. And I might sit for 3 years like, what's this, Mac Jones?
Yeah.
I might sit behind a whole bunch of people for a long time and get my chance later on. And you have to have a certain level of confidence to be able to go into a system like that.
You got to have a purpose.
Yeah.
You got to have a dream. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Because like something has to orient you when you're dealing with something in the near term. You know what I'm saying? Because like a lot of people, they'll see adversity, but they don't recognize that that's the very thing that they prayed for in most cases. And they're in the middle of it. That's your invitation.
They running from it.
And they run from it.
Yeah. There was a quarterback in the league. I forgot who he played for. I think he sat behind 2 Heisman Trophy players when USC was at the top. 2 Heisman Trophy winning quarterbacks, and got drafted to the I want to say to the New England. Sat behind Tom Brady for a while, and then left and had a serviceable career. But really never seen the field in college or his first 5 or 6 years in the NFL. And I've seen that time and time again when Texas was on top. They had people who never got any run at Texas who made it to the pros.
Yeah.
And so that can be demoralizing. But if you want to be the best, you're going to have to put yourself around the best. I remember my son played football.
And on the other end, they can't get none.
Hey.
Don't let it be
It's party over here. Hold on a second.
Hey, bring the sound effects. Hey, we got Big Kev. You know what I'm saying? No question about it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's a party now, Friday night.
Yeah, it's about to be a party. Yeah, like let me. I gotta get the man in the.
Don't
camera.
let it be a black and a white one.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Because we know how the black one gonna treat us.
I'm gonna introduce you to my man Kev with no question about it. You know what I'm saying?
What's going on?
Like he leads promotions. He's part of my social content management team for
Yeah.
Talk. You know what I'm saying? And my man got his own endeavors.
He out there in Killeen with you?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And he's a vet also. So
Okay.
I want you to introduce yourself to the people.
Where you from, my bro?
Yeah, y'all.
I'm originally from Detroit, Michigan.
Oh man, so cold in the D.
It's so cold in the D. You know what I'm saying?
So how true was the BMF thing, man? Tell us about BMF, man, because a lot of us heard about it from my generation, and then we just seen the TV program.
I'm not too familiar with the BMF. I've heard about it. I know it started in Detroit, but
You must have been younger then. How old are
yeah,
you?
I was a lot younger now, and I moved out once I was in high school. Once I left high school, I went to the military like right after high school. So
Gotcha.
I'm not too familiar with the BMF, but I know the Detroit boys and that network. You know, it birthed that the BMF, the Black Mafia family. So I'm familiar with it, but I'm not really in tune to it.
You know, the thing that me and Vic were talking about earlier, we start talking about middle class and, economic realities. And the middle class was strong in Detroit because the people from the South, Birmingham and Mississippi went up there working in factories, right?
My granddaddy included. He came out there from Mississippi. And
that's the great migration. We got to figure out what the next migration is, Vic. And I know it might be digital, but so you from Detroit, you were beneficiary of your grandfather being thrust into the middle class.
Absolutely. And he like you said, middle class was the thing. We grew up in the middle class, but as the time progressed, gentrification and a lot of things changed, and those same middle class homes now look like trap houses,
Yes. And we just got to look to places like Detroit and study the past to know what's coming. You know what I'm saying? Because all the jobs left, all the factories left, and with that left the black middle class in Detroit. But it birthed some dope hip hop.
Yeah, it definitely did.
Yep, it really did, man. And the whole point is that we've gotten enough of these different occurrences, to have questions about the middle class, the being dissolved, certain things not being relevant anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And it's this is just happening like the last couple of years,
right?
Well, we had to force ourselves to accept it because we had to sit in the house, couldn't go nowhere. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So that to me is more like, okay, this type of resistance is something that's coded, it's engineered, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And it's become, and it's programmed because it's about money, it's about numbers, you know what I'm saying? Life is about, life is really algebra when you think about it, because the nature of algebra is just problem solving, you know what I'm saying? You will never stop solving problems in life if you want to keep living, you know what I'm saying?
Right. So when we talk about the capitalist society, thing, and now I want my man in the back to introduce himself, but I just want to get this note out. You look at the biggest transportation company in the world is Uber, right? And they got you out here putting 100,000 miles on your whip.
On your whip.
And then you make it, your car make. I've been in Ubers where I was like, man, you need to check them belts, player. And you running your personal assets into the ground. Yeah. Now the blessing is that you can create a job out of nothing. All you got to do is have a car, right?
Have a resource.
Yeah, it's a resource. But they've taken capitalism and made the cog used to be the warehouse worker. Now it's the individual who, I have a degree in supply chain management, right? So I'm really interested in how things work. So if you ever went grocery shopping, you are an unpaid warehouse worker because you walk around picking your groceries, take them up to the front, and then check out. Now you can have that delivered for $5. You know what I'm saying? And so everything is being broken down. And if you don't control or own resources, right, you don't have anything because the companies they're not going to back you. The employee, all the benefits are gone. There's no union. They're not going to back you like, U.S. Steel might have backed Granddaddy or GM, put your parents through college. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. They want you to do all the work without the responsibility. You know what I'm saying? I used to work for Lyft and I thought it was a great thing until
it's not. I'm sorry. It is until your catalytic converter needs to be changed, right?
Right, or them tires need to be rotated, and you know what I'm saying. It's a lot of things that you putting in the forefront, and then you not really. Yeah, you can get your money fast, but at the end of the day, when you add all the numbers up, you in the negatives tremendously.
Yeah, if you're not careful. And so there's ways to do it. So tell us a little bit about yourself, man. I just jumped in there. I'm sorry.
No, man, go ahead.
Well, I'm an activist. You know what I'm saying? I've recently moved out here to Killeen.
From?
I go by No Question About It on YouTube.
Where'd you move from? I'm sorry.
Huh?
Where'd you move from?
I moved from out here from Phoenix. Like I said, I was military. I lived in a lot of different states. I've moved out from California to Arizona, and then from Arizona out here. My wife is currently serving at Fort Hood.
Gotcha.
So I'm out here. I do a lot of activism. Started a lot of activism out here in the state of Texas, in the city of Killeen. I felt like I was racially profiled when I first got out here, and just kind of spurred me to pick up a camera and make sure that the things that happen to me don't happen to nobody else in my community. So
absolutely,
I pick up cameras and I record police in the course of their duties. I advocate for accountability, and anything about the law, I'm always advocating, letting people know their rights. Pick up a camera, record any government official in the course of their duty, or anybody that's accusing you of anything. Yeah. Whether it be in the classroom, whether it be on the streets, if anybody is accusing you of anything, pick up a camera and put it in their face and ask questions. What are you accusing me of? Why are you accusing me of this?
Man, we need brothers like you.
Don't answer the questions.
We need brothers like you.
Man, look, I told him one day, like, when I first met him, we had a conversation that was like, I was trying to speak to him from the old head, type of, approach. Mm-hmm. But like I had to measure myself because I see a man with purpose. Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? So I had to accept what he does.
Absolutely.
Because he's not doing it. He's not doing something that everybody can get up and go do as efficiently, and we need him. You know Absolutely. What I'm saying? So I had to be like, hey man, look, I'm operating at a different frequency, so the people that I meet gonna take different risks that they, that I wouldn't take, mm-hmm. and I've taken risks that they couldn't take. So Absolutely. I gotta respect another king when he out here doing something that I'm not motivated to do as my primary function. It's not mm-hmm. my function.
Here's what we really have to support, and that's why Sam Cooke, Harry Belafonte, and several others, they finance these kind of movements because their call was different. And what I'm saying, why we say we need brothers like you, is 10 years from now, we'll act like, and I just heard this on NPR today. Well-meaning folks would say, "Oh, I would have marched for Martin." No, you wouldn't. You identify with it 20 years later. Yeah. So remember that situation where there was some racial profiling in Starbucks in Philadelphia?
Yeah, a couple years ago.
I was in Philadelphia that day.
Was that 2018?
I don't know. It was like 17, 18.
Yeah.
And I was in a different Starbucks, and I was having a discussion with some friends of mine. And I said, I'm glad that they've seen that all the way to the end and waited for the police to come through. And I wish they had a place where I could help with the bail. But I cannot afford to do that because I have a flight tomorrow. I have to be in LA to do this thing that's going to benefit not only my family, but the people who work for and with me. I got to drop my son off at school. And so if that person would have came at me that way, I would have just said, you know what, I got to go. But the fact that someone could call them to task and not let it go, to me, is valuable.
It is.
They would call the police. I'm going to stay here until the police get here.
Yeah, run it up.
Yep.
Run it up. Let's go. Run these cameras.
I will.
And for me, I would have either just said, let me speak to your manager and I'm out. But I don't, where I'm at in this life, in this space, in my responsibilities, I didn't have the bandwidth to miss my flight.
We talk about that all the time, right?
You know what I'm saying?
And that goes back to the economics.
Yeah.
Economics determines what you commit yourself to.
Right.
Because even if you wanted to stay there and fight, the economics of your situation determine how long you can commit to it.
Man, look, I used to fight traffic tickets until I realized that you had to go there to the court twice. man, fuck it. I'm just gonna pay this $100 because if I go to the court to say I'm right, then we have to reset a date. And I watched my dad fight tickets for 6 months to not pay $65. Like, no, man, you know what? I know I'm right in this situation. Here's $65 because every hour I spend here I'm not billing the $100 that I would normally bill to help somebody else. But I still need someone to know that was not right.
Yeah.
Man, look, I read Michelle Alexander's book, The New Jim Crow.
Yeah.
And one of the things that she had, like in the first part of the book, I'd say probably about the first third of the book was about the economics that's involved for Black people when they have to deal with the legal system, and it's cheaper for them to, well, they can only afford probation. They can't afford
or what's that? Plea bargain.
Yeah, plea bargain. You know what I'm saying? And like when you think about pretext stops.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
A brother who killed himself. He couldn't get the $500 bail. His family couldn't get the $500 bail together. He stayed in Rikers for 3 years. But the emotional toll, he killed himself after he got out.
Khalif Browder.
Yes.
Yeah. Think about that, right?
Or even the 5, the Central Park 5. Go ahead.
5, yeah. But like this comes back, all of these conversations that we're having right now that are rooted in conflict resolution, problem solving, and breaking generational curses are all part of the glitches that's in the matrix that's giving us the indication that we need to have this conversation. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
That's why, like, he's not just recording police; he's recording it and
government officials
and arming the person that's having a first-hand interaction, and he's arming, you know what I'm saying, the onlookers that's going to catch it either on YouTube or whatever social media platform is there.
Yeah.
How can we critique somebody that's doing something that we see the utility in, the need of, and at the same time trying to tell them how to do it? We don't question Picasso's brush strokes. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's code. You know what I'm saying? Like, for real,
baby. You can't.
It's a masterpiece. You don't question the masterpiece.
The masterpiece.
You know what I'm saying?
You guys familiar with the book The Spook Who Sat by the Door?
Yeah.
They did a movie about it, but it didn't last in the United States.
Right way.
Yeah, but sometimes we gotta have people on the inside. So I got some corporate gangster homies who know how to, do the corporate game, but then they come to people like me and Vic to do the entrepreneur thing, right? And then you have the activists, you have people who will go out and challenge the status quo, and we need to support them at the same level we support Ben Crump.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
All day, because we're the people that can identify the next representatives for our own community.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
put this on a solo shot at the bottom. I gotta make a quick run right quick.
All right, do your thing, man.
All right, hold on. I'm gonna be right here. I'll be right back.
Hey, man, how you doing today, brother?
I like that.
You like that, yo?
Man, that shit
cold,
boy.
A little bit.
Man, I need to get my VVs on. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, tell the people to get their VVs.
Man, get your VVs, man. I'm about to be dropping videos, so you're gonna next time you see me on YouTube.
I'm gonna step out, man. You come on, get in front of the camera, do your thing. Let me get out your way, bro. I need to step away for a second myself.
Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? I go by the name No Question About It on YouTube. I just did a live stream on the things that's going on in this city. We out here in Killeen, Texas. A lot of things going on with the police and I'm just advocating for accountability. Right now, we in the movement for decriminalizing marijuana. I'm a part of a team that's gathering petitions, gathering signatures, and trying to get people to vote. A lot of things is going on. I always encourage people to pick up a camera, man. Just pick that camera up. Anytime you're getting pulled over, you only have to give them your license, registration, and insurance. Anything outside of that, where you going? I'm going that way. Where you coming from? I'm coming from that way. Don't matter. All them questions that they answering, use your fucking rights. Use your rights to remain silent. Use your you know, you don't have to be disrespectful to the cops. You don't have to be, you know, brash or, you know, conflicting with them. Just exercise your rights. You can always say, I don't answer questions. And the longer the more you answer questions, the longer the interaction gonna last. So you have to utilize your God-given rights in this country and make sure that you know you survive the interaction. You know, that's what I always do is advocate for people's rights. Anytime a cop come and talk to you, pull you over, don't answer no questions. That's kind of my thing. No question about it. I'm on YouTube. You see a bunch of interactions with the Killeen Police Department and other departments around the area. Just making sure that people know their rights. You know, we decriminalizing marijuana at the moment, trying to get all this stuff off the books. These old bogus ass ordinances, all these bogus laws that they subjectively using against black and brown people. You know what I'm saying? Pick the camera up. That's if you don't do anything out of the interaction with government officials, you better have it recorded. You better have it recorded, number one. Number two, you better utilize your Fifth Amendment right to remain silent because you have no obligation to assist nobody in no investigations upon yourself. Why would you help somebody else indoctrinate you into a system? Or why would you help somebody else incriminate yourself? Why would you answer questions that's gonna be used against you in the court of law? Why would you do that? I understand that you don't have anything to hide. You don't have anything to be worried about when it comes to police, but their sole purpose is to indoctrinate you into a system that's gonna affect you and your family. So never talk to police. Always utilize your rights. Always ask questions if you feel like you're being violated. You get it on record. You shut up. If you're gonna say something, you better be asking a question. You better not be answering no questions. No question about it. You know what I'm saying? I advocate for rights. If you see me out in the Killeen area, you're gonna see me with a camera. You're gonna see me with the big beads. You're gonna see me with a bow tie. I done took the bow tie off. It's a little late, but I just did a live stream earlier with the 5 Mile veteran on YouTube. And you know, I'm always out here in the streets. Every time you see me, you're gonna see the dreads. You're gonna see, you know, I got a viral video that's going out right now that about my kidnapping. I was kidnapped by Officer Patterson and Officer Crum out here at the Killeen Police Department, downtown Killeen. They arrested me for basically informing young black men of their rights in the back of a police car. If you're in the back of a police car, or if you're in the back of a car and on a traffic stop, you have no obligation to give your identification. You have no obligation to assist any cop in their investigation. Quote unquote investigation, because police don't investigate, detectives investigate. So if a cop pulls somebody over and you a passenger in that vehicle and the cop asks you for your identification, you don't even have to respond to the cop. You could just remain silent. Or let them know respectfully, I'm going to invoke my Fifth Amendment right to remain silent. Unless you suspect me of a crime, I have no obligation to identify myself to you. I have no obligation to even talk to you. So you want to utilize it respectfully, because sometimes it won't even matter if you utilize your rights, especially when you black or brown. You know what I'm saying? You whether you utilize your rights or not, sometimes you might run into the wrong cop and he gonna violate you regardless of what you're talking about. But the number one thing, what I said before, if you're gonna violate me, number one, it's gonna be on camera. So that's the number one thing you do. As soon as you see them cherries and berries, hit record. It's even better if you go live because now you got family and everybody else watching you, watching the interaction, and then they can be able to, hey, something they're getting ready to violate rights. Hey, call down to the police station. Why y'all? What's going on? We need to get a supervisor down there and figure out why the hell Sergeant Patterson down there busting up my cousin head. You know what I'm saying? So number one thing is to make sure the interaction is recorded. If you don't do anything else, record all your interactions with government officials. Number two, utilize your rights to remain silent, and that's basically what I do. I advocate for people's rights. I'm a civil rights activist. I'm a United States Navy veteran. I met my man Victor Vinziant, linking up with my brother, and it's been teaching me a lot of things, code talk, mixing it up with the no question about it. And we're trying to make things happen out here in this community. So I invite any and everybody that want to talk to me, that want to speak about anything about law, about that's my specialty, but I'm human just like you are. So
yeah,
I can chop it up with you on any type of level. You know what I'm saying? It's always love.
Man, I don't mind sitting in the back because this is what
BBs look good on you in the back.
Hey man, you see me? You know what I'm saying? Y'all need to come down and get yours.
Yes, sir.
Like my boy Prey, he probably gonna be in there in a minute too.
Okay.
But yeah, man, like this is what's popping, man. Like we got a couple different configurations of the brand.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? About to start, really, really putting it together and getting it out there.
Man. I'm excited, bro. Yeah. I'm excited at what's
I want to be the new Louis V. You know what I'm saying?
Man, why not? Why not us? Why not
us? You know what I'm saying? So I believe that we already have every resource we need to make that happen. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? I think that's evident, just simply based on the fact that we're here right now. You
Absolutely.
know, like think about where you would be 10 years ago on a Friday night. You know what I'm saying? Like you see what I'm saying? Like that's real evolution.
Absolutely.
Which is like one of those things where like one of the themes of the night is that true or false.
Mm-hmm.
Men are from Mars, women are from Venus, right?
Yeah.
That's the old narrative. The new narrative is this: men are out of the matrix and women are in it.
Whoo.
So the reason I brought that up is because this platform, like I'm a man, I don't know how to mentor women.
Absolutely.
I think the only thing that you could do is correct yourself.
Right.
So when I have a conversation, it's not to compete with anybody.
That's absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Is to have the conversation in front of like-minded people. And find out what the resistance is.
Yeah.
And then talk to the people that want a solution. And so the solution that I'm trying to get us to is about recognizing that it's a certain type of resistance that lets you know that you're in the middle of a program. You know what I'm saying? Do me a favor, click on that tab up there at the top where it says, hit cancel. What's that? Cancel that. Go up to the top up there where it says StreamYard to the right. Come over to the right. Where that red button is, keep going. Click that right there.
Okay.
Boom. I don't know if someone was trying to take us out. You know what I'm saying? They let you know that the Matrix
trying to hate on us. Just see we in the Matrix.
Yeah,
you got the little Matrix on the side.
The Matrix don't happen. You know what I'm saying?
We got to be a glitch.
Got to be a glitch. You got to be the glitch. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Because I mean, like you've seen enough stuff happen in repetition where you can be like, "Oh, I know how that's gonna go."
Yeah.
Like you should know
the patterns.
You should know how that's gonna go.
The algorithm.
We are all algorithms to a degree. You know what I'm saying? Because you can kind of make certain assessments of a certain economic class of people.
Yeah.
Just simply by the shit that they do.
Yep. What was you doing the last time I saw you? Oh, I was on TikTok. What you doing right now? Oh, I'm on TikTok. What you gonna be doing tomorrow? I'm watching TikTok.
Yeah. That's your frequency. Now we don't know what you're doing on TikTok.
Yeah.
That's irrelevant. But that's where you hang out at.
Mm-hmm.
You and I, we have a lot of regular in-depth conversations from top to bottom. We spend a lot of time talking, but the conversation, the tone of the conversation is about conflict resolution.
Mm-hmm.
It's about winning.
Mm-hmm.
It's about changing the narrative. You see what I'm saying? It's progressive.
Yeah.
Because we know that elevated dialogue, even elevated disagreements, produces a better outcome than simply just saying, "Oh, that's just the way it is."
Yeah.
You just keep moving. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, we're prepared to live a life of being misunderstood. We're prepared to live a life that creates competition before it creates support. And nothing that we did.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Is that not the essence of a program? Is that not the essence that there is a script that other people are following? Because why would you keep meeting the same people over and over again? Why would you be wise, you know what I'm saying, about people that's coming to hurt you? And not as in tune with people that are here to help you.
Right.
Is that not the essence of a program?
Man.
Is that not the essence of a level of a virus?
Yeah, you got to be able to rise above it and recognizing it is the first and foremost. You know, you have to be able to recognize it and move accordingly. You know,
you have to participate in it too. Because like the only way you can recognize it if you experienced it.
Yeah.
The only way you experience something if you participate in it.
Yeah.
So like when you start thinking about these different things, you should get offended. You should get more motivated to separate yourself from the variables of the matrix. You know what I'm saying? And within that conversation, the true or false conversation that started a whole train of thought. Who's more likely to connect to the false sense of comfort and security of the matrix? Who's more likely to break away, men or women? That's something to think about.
Yeah.
Like, and the thing is that even in breaking away, we're still part of it, but we're just trying to dictate or have some control of ourselves to play a different role in it. Because we never deny the existence of it. We accept that we have to go back in it from time to time.
Absolutely.
To play the game. You see what I'm saying?
Game, yeah.
Because that's all it is, a game, right? And you know what the matrix is, right? It's code.
It's code. Okay.
It speaks to a different group of people. It speaks to a manipulator. It speaks to someone that's going to be subject to manipulation.
Yep, absolutely. You're going to be, either you're going to be a player in it, or you're going to be the glitch.
Yeah. Or
you can choose whatever you want to be, but you have to recognize that you're in the matrix first.
I used to think other people were the glitch, and I realized I was a glitch.
When I cheat code.
When I realized I was a glitch, I became powerful. Like, not necessarily what I could do, but understanding. That's, you know, like power comes from within. It comes from understanding your own resources. But before that, I was just confused. I went from confused to power.
How did you do that?
I don't know, man. It just kind of like hit me, you know, like. But the only reason I was able to be hit by it is because of the work I had done to become successful.
Like you said, you have to be in it and
correct
and go through those trials and tribulations. You gotta lose before you able to. Man, I need to play this again. I know I could beat this shit.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I'm saying? Like, in order to create, you got to destroy.
Destroy and rebuild.
Yeah. So sometimes you have to be destroyed by something to understand the impact. But only a person with a purpose can understand subjecting themselves to something greater than them that they can't control, and be willing to take everything that comes with it and be willing to take the chance of not succeeding
Mhm.
and be willing to come back. See, we have a purpose. It ain't enough to just win. You got to be willing to take an L and then get back up and give everybody else L's. You make it your life's work.
Ooh.
You know what I'm saying? Like the difference between being a participant in the process, because everybody's a participant,
Everybody,
but everybody ain't willing.
everybody can pick up the sticks.
Everybody can pick up sticks. You know what I'm saying? But all smoke, you know what I'm saying, ain't created equally. A lot of people go out here and defeat stuff that they think is the pinnacle of their accomplishment, but that might just be a Tuesday for somebody.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
But
so that's just a Tuesday.
But because we're doing all these things, and you know what I'm saying, within the matrix, the matrix design is set up to create competition for no reason.
Yeah, who you trying to compete with? Why are you trying to compete?
Yeah, what's the outcome? What's the greater good?
Why not work together to?
If I follow your energy and it's competition energy, what's the trophy?
Right.
I'm not saying I wouldn't play, but if it leads to an outcome that benefits our culture, I'll participate.
Yeah.
If the thing that you think is important, that requires participation and support from others, is on some bullshit.
Why play?
Who the glitch?
Right.
You see, that's how you discover the glitches.
Yeah.
That's why you don't have that emotional connection. I can't emotionally experience or replicate how I used to feel 10 years ago if I wanted to go outside and go to the club. You know what I'm saying? Or be in environments where I'm hunting.
Yeah.
Or doing something, you know what I'm saying, that's not conducive to a generational wealth type of energy. It don't necessarily mean you're around ratchet people.
Yeah.
It just means you connected to people that got a certain expectation.
Yeah.
But if you go into it with a purpose, you can have fun. Because if you go into something like that without a purpose, it's going to be a bunch of distractions that's going to derail you. Because you don't have the maturity, you don't have the experience. You're going to fall in line.
Be in the matrix. Now you're just going to be a player in the matrix.
Now you're going to be like, if for those of you that don't know what it means when you're in the matrix, you know, let's say if you don't recognize it. If you spend your time texting people, asking them to send you $40, you're in the matrix. You know what I'm saying? Because the fact that you need $40 right now, when
the 40 ball,
when we've had, you know, people that start whole businesses, you know what I'm saying, in a time where, you know, like economics is a big discussion on a regular basis.
Yeah.
Supplies are in short demand. Schools have become less adequate.
Yeah, school's not even thought about the same as it was 10, 20 years
If you
ago.
baby mama number 3 or baby daddy number 4, your ass is in the matrix in 2022. Like for real, because like how you look at that, and that's your choice. How you look at that scenario, and that's your choice. Without looking at, you couldn't have looked at the economics.
Yeah. You couldn't have.
Of it.
You couldn't have.
Because we've been making emotional decisions for a very long time. We've made feel-good decisions. We've made decisions that say you don't want anything in life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like there's no, you got to think
about playing on bullshit.
Correct.
You know, gloating and putting a lot of things that don't even matter.
Flexing on dumb shit.
Yep.
That's what I'm
definitely.
Yeah, you know, I like. You've heard that conversation before,
Mm-hmm.
bro. We spent 40 years standing on other people's couches pouring out liquor for videos, and the people that was in the videos ain't even cool with each other no more.
Yeah.
So what was it about?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like, those things are what I look at that lets me know that, bro, we having a real matrix-centric society right now. It's not just social media. When people, it's beyond that. Like when people say, "Oh, social media got the generation ruined," that's just the surface. No, what made them go to social media?
Yeah. You know, we don't have that communication with each other as people, and That thing is just
What engineered the lack of communication though? Because when people say that, I'm like, I remember us talking.
yeah.
I remember, but when did it stop?
A lot of people are not even comfortable having real life conversations with each other.
No.
And I think the technology has come into play, and that's what's really been a catalyst for the miscommunication or the non-communication amongst people. You know what I'm saying?
I think you think it's a catalyst or a symptom?
A catalyst or a symptom?
Because see, here's the thing: a catalyst is like responsible for where we are right now, completely. Started it, took ownership, and said, "Yeah, I fucked up you people."
Yeah.
A new means of communication. It's not gonna always be accepted. Like electricity was shunned, color TV was shunned.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I think we're just being resisted for no reason.
Yeah.
Because if you take social media away, people's situation awareness goes down significantly. It's easier to have a conversation about how to integrate it and use it appropriately than it is to take it away. Because in this society, taking something away from people is an infringement.
Yeah.
In a lot of these people's minds. Because think about what people use policy and legislation for when they try to justify a point. Well, the Constitution says I got the right to bear arms. While that's cool, ain't necessarily 1776.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like imagine if you wrote a rule for people not to bring flip phones into your house. Number one, it's a dumb rule. Number two, we got a flip phone. And how many flip phones come in your house on a regular basis where you got to ban them? Who keeping track of all that?
Right.
You see what I'm saying? But that's a dumb rule.
Yeah.
And and it just wastes your time. Stuff like that to me, it's like Matrix shit to me. Like the reason why they put instructions for baby powder, shampoo, and toothpaste, only dumb people need instructions for those type of things. Need to be told you can't eat the lotion.
Right.
Who got to be told where to put the toothpaste at?
Right.
Only people that's tried to get over. You know what I'm saying? Tried to, you know what I'm saying, to win within the matrix. But I ain't mad.
We don't have anybody that questions those type of things, though. You know, a lot of people are just being sheep and following along with the program, or just like you said, just being in the matrix.
Let me get that canister down there, sir.
Just being in the matrix.
Yeah.
But they're not questioning the why, the how, and why.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? For example, I went to court the other day, and the bailiff, comes out and informs everybody. If you have a cell phone, you either take it back to your car or you're gonna check it in. As you come into the courtroom, you're gonna give your phone up and give it to the bailiff, and he's gonna put it in the bag, and then you get it when you leave out the courtroom.
Right.
And it's like everybody just, all right, half the people went to go put their phone up, and the other half came in there and started walking, taking things out their pocket.
Everybody but Kevin.
No question about it. I'm like, wait a minute, like that sounds like it's a violation. I'm thinking, you have to think, like, are you gonna be a player in the matrix, or are you gonna be a glitch?
You're gonna be a glitch.
And you have to sometimes question it. You can do it respectfully, but I'm not giving you nothing. That's a violation. You violated my rights right now. So is that a policy or is that a law?
I used to say, is it a policy or a pet peeve?
A policy or a pet peeve?
Because a pet peeve is emotions. A policy is a written document.
Yeah, but policy is only followed by the people that have a contract with that policy.
Yeah, exactly. It means somebody had to agree with it. But like that's why I say, like, people make up pet peeves on the spot and try to pass it off to you in an articulate dummy's voice as though you're stupid.
Yeah.
That's what you call out.
Call out the dumb shit.
Yeah, got to.
You got to.
Yeah, because if people accept it, you're gonna be part of the dumb shit. You're gonna get the experience with no with no type of accountability.
No type of questions and no questions asked, and you're just gonna fall in line with whatever whatever they say, and they can make up anything. They can tell you to spread your booty cheeks open, and
that's extreme.
And then if you say, hey, is that your policy or that law? Well, that's my policy. Well, I guess I gotta spread my booty cheeks open because you said it, because that's your policy.
Man, look, yeah, if you accept it, you like the person that accepted might not even have to deal with the experience on that. You see what I'm saying? Like, meaning that they gonna argue about the law, get it passed, whatever they got to do, and then now we all got to suffer because somebody else just randomly decided to just say, yeah, you know what, go ahead and spread, you know what I'm saying, pass those laws. And they say,
yeah, go ahead and just spread it real quick.
Yeah, just go ahead and spread it. You know what I'm saying? And then nobody else comes back and discusses it. It's not even a
nobody
dialogue.
questions it.
Nobody questions it.
You gotta question that type of shit.
Which is why I love the fact that you chose your name for your promotions. There's no question about it. You know what I'm saying? And
yeah, because I'm asking all the questions, but I'm not answering no questions.
I was about to say that's the whole point too. It's self-explanatory. It's also ironic because it triggers a conversation where people get to ask the right questions.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So, like, for those of y'all that's probably reading the caption, trying to match it up with this conversation, we're talking about the decision-making points that it takes for a man to break away from the matrix, to make decisions that may or may not be popular or accepted. You know what I'm saying?
The status quo.
Yeah, exactly. Because we recognize that nobody's coming to save us, so we break away. You know what I'm saying? We're comfortable with being the glitch. You know what I'm saying? Because we've been the glitch all of our lives in most cases. You know what I'm saying? So the question here isn't about competition. It's about deciding if you're going to become the glitch or you're going to keep getting run over by the glitches, you know what I'm saying, that you're trying to connect to that don't have a purpose other than just agitation.
Yep.
Because it's about conflict resolution at this point.
It is.
It ain't nothing else out there that they can hit us with. We've seen it all, experienced it. What's left?
Right. You know what I'm saying? So why not go against the grain? You know what I'm saying? They didn't already beat you over the head. You got the lumps so why not?
Yeah, bruises for no reason.
For no reason. Why not pick yourself up and try it again? You might whoop me upside the head, but now them lumps is healed, so they don't hurt as much as no more.
Right.
So now it's time to work out. Now I'm stronger because of it, and now I see you swinging, and now I'm, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Man, let me look at these comments right here. We got old TGH Drake. What's happening?
TGH, what's going on?
Big Don.
They gonna hate.
Yeah, they gonna hate.
They gonna hate.
TGH TV. Hey man, shout out to y'all coming through. What's good?
Yes, sir.
So it's just another night on Cold Talk. It's a Friday, We're just kicking it and having a good time and catching up on the week, man. This week went by quick, bro.
It did.
Bro, I know it's just January, but it feels like it's already flying by.
Yeah, it is. It really is. And you Aquarius, right?
Yeah.
We Aquarius season coming up. I'm on the 12th. What's your birthday?
February 14th.
14. Okay, we 2 days apart.
My birthday on Valentine's Day, man.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, so we're gonna run it up.
Love.
Yeah, we're gonna run it up in February. You know what I'm saying? We deserve a whole promotion leading up to it.
For the whole month.
Hey man, look. The other thing too, for those of y'all that's watching, go click the caption. You know what I'm saying? Click the link tree. Subscribe to the Patreon. You know what I'm saying? Get at me about some books.
Yeah.
Man, we can talk, do business. You know what I'm saying? All of that. That's what this is for. You got a brand you trying to promote. I'm the person you need to see. Hey man, shout out to my boy Corinne Williams. You know what I'm saying?
Sir.
Gave me a chance to host this podcast yesterday in his absence while he got a chance to go spend some time with his kids.
Yes, sir.
Like one of the realest things you could always do is help somebody else make money. And you can help somebody else make time for those that they care about. That's another dope thing you could do.
Yeah.
You know, so what's the dope things that you plan to do for other people that you would like for them to do for you also? Maybe not to say you don't need that from them, but paying it forward, like putting it out there, because we're some energy driven people, and we recognize the importance of genuine connection. And you know, you need a plethora of people from different walks of life to accomplish everything you're trying to get done. So like how does that fit for you?
Well, for me, it's just being able to advocate and to be able to come together and exchange ideas and be able to, you know, I'm out here doing the groundwork in my field. You know, if you support it, you can. If you're not ready to pick up a camera and get on the ground with me, you can make a phone call. You can send an email. You can send a cash app. You know what I'm saying? You can do a lot of different things to affect change, because that's the type of frequency I'm on, is just trying to affect change in the community. And or you can send your kid down to learn and come down to here and get on code with us. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of things that can help. You know, if you were just sitting back watching us do the work, you know, you can do. There's a lot of things that you can do to help out as well, and be that catalyst and be that vehicle for change. You know what I'm saying? You can always, you know, support, you know, with a like. You can always send your kid down to learn something. You can always make a phone call. You can shoot an email. You can do a lot of things that affect change, and everything helps. You might not be the type that'll pick up the camera and walk up on police and hold the camera up, but it's a lot of other things that you can do that helps as well. So,
man, like, so I'm gonna read something from my book, because you mentioned work. And when we talk about work, we're not talking about clocking in for nobody else. We're talking about healing, doing the work on yourself, being fit to lead other people, being fit to be useful, being fit to be able to add value. You can't add no value when you're not fit.
Yeah.
And when we say fit, we're not just talking about your outside appearance. We're talking about what's up here. We're talking about what you represent. You know what I'm saying? So, like, one of the things that you were saying, I was reading over this and trying to see if it fit, and I think it did. I'm just going to read it.
Okay.
And I'm going to get your feedback on it.
Okay.
Right? So, for those that are paying attention,
the code.
You know what I'm saying? And this is on page 10 in chapter 1 of my book. So, when we're on a path of self-discovery, we abandon some versions of ourselves, similar to the way reptiles molt and shed their skin. Some of us confuse comfort with complacency, as though we've arrived. Reality is that we don't know what comfort is, and we should be mindful of the context in which we use that word. I choose to find comfort in knowing that I have work to do. I choose to embark on things that will make me uncomfortable if the benefit is personal growth. Just like the reptile is shedding its old skin, I too desire to become mentally bigger than any of my circumstances that may be in my path. I want to always be equipped to deal with any issue in a mentally proactive manner. We shouldn't see tasks as see tasks as tests more than we should see them as chores that we complete in preparation for bigger problems that require greater intellectual resource. It's just a routine maintenance. It's just routine maintenance to ensure that all of our senses are sharp enough to take on the true tests that lie in our paths in the future. That's to me, when I wrote that, I was thinking about, like, we got bigger fish to fry.
Yeah, we do.
But how do you explain that? You know what I'm saying? How do you reset people for them to see or experience the same sense of urgency that you're trying to impart on them?
They got to be ready. They got to be reasonable first and foremost. They have to be open, and you know, you can't. Everybody's not going to come.
No. Everybody can't go,
Everybody
and everybody
can't
ain't gonna come.
Yeah.
Two different things.
Yeah, everybody's not gonna come and
So in the middle, you know what you got though? The right and reasonable people. Everybody that can't come, everybody ain't gonna go.
Yeah.
But the people that's in the middle, they on code.
They on code.
You see what I'm saying? Because it's balance. Code is about being balanced.
Mm-hmm.
It's about knowing when to speak. It's about knowing when to interject your opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Just like I let you talk.
Yep.
Get out what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that I don't know you,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I'm saying, to the depth that I know maybe some family members. So even the onlookers and the watchers may have some family members that they don't know as well.
Mm-hmm.
But they got people that's not in their gene pool that they're closer to.
Mm-hmm.
What connects you?
Exactly.
It's got to be code.
Got to be code. Yeah, definitely got to be some type of connection. Because if not,
like, and the reason you connect to people
mm-hmm.
when it comes down to code is because the matrix in itself is zeros and ones. It's binary code.
Okay, zeros and ones.
It's binary code. That's why the background on the book is binary code.
Zeros
Because
and ones.
what we do in here protects us from this.
Okay.
Or arms us for how to negotiate the matrix. Because we have to accept that it exists, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because if we don't accept that it exists, and you go spend your time watching movies dedicated to explaining the existence of it, why? You don't feel like, why would you dedicate your time to just being miseducated or just entertained or just exist?
Yeah.
If you seek entertainment, you're only just existing. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like if that's all you see.
And like you said, that should be like when you see people that do that, that should be offensive to you. Like it should be like, man, like come on,
ain't trying to get out,
man.
Why you making it more difficult than
Yeah,
necessary?
like let's do this. Let's be a glitch.
Yes, let's be a glitch. Because one of the things I had to accept though, some people cool with just staying in this joint.
Yeah.
It ain't my job to get them out.
Yeah.
It's just my job to put the message out
and make them think about it.
It's the person's individual responsibility to decide what they want. You can tell what people want by the things that they do, by the things that they accept.
Yeah.
Like you accept what you think you're worth.
Mm-hmm.
That comes in treatment, that comes in everything. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't necessarily get that.
And I think it comes down to having the right people around you to show you what your worth is and show you that, hey, it's better things for you and better things. Like you have to be that example for other people, because especially with Black people and our people, we don't have a lot of people that shows that example. For example, me and my brothers, we grew up, we had a lot of positive male role models in our life, but they weren't teaching us the right things. So when we get into a jam, we run in our mouth, and then you should already be on code that, hey, shut your damn mouth.
Yeah.
Or you gonna get yourself in trouble.
Like the work you do is code talk. That's why I had to sit back with what you do, and I had to humble myself on that. Because it's necessary. It's not useless. It's not useless work.
Yeah.
What you do is you speak code. You speaking to people. You there's a tone, there's a frequency, there's a presence that holds the person that's on site accountable.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Like you disarm them with your presence.
Yeah.
By not being aggressive.
You don't have to be.
Because you are already what? 240? You don't need the issues.
I don't need my body busted up.
Yeah,
you know
what I'm saying? Like, yeah. We don't need that. There's a way to go about doing it, you know what I'm saying, and accomplishing the same thing.
Yep, without all the risk.
Yeah, because like you recognize you got people that's paying attention to what you're doing. So you can't arm them with stupidity.
You can't.
You can't arm
gotta be
them.
on code.
You can't even arm them with emotional ignorance and claim that you got their best interests.
Yeah.
You can't do both.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people don't understand that. I don't know. That's always an enduring conversation. You know what I'm saying? Somebody's not going to be understood.
Yeah. That's okay.
That's okay. But the way you've been documenting your work, it's not your work. It's the protection of the community. You've obligated yourself as a person of service.
Yeah.
Bro, that can't be overlooked.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna give you a chance to highlight that anytime, because without people like you, we don't get Ahmaud Arbery's killers. Without people like you, we don't have transparency on Amber Geiger and how she shot Botham Jean. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Without you, we get more Sandra Blands.
Get a lot more of that.
But in some cases, when even you have it, it's not enough. And it lets you know that, wow, they'll really blow us off like that. Philando Castile was the last person that they couldn't blow off. But they did. You know what I'm saying? When it should have been Terrence Crutcher, it should have been Walter Scott, it should have been. There was so many to name. You know what I'm saying?
Lot too many to count.
Yeah.
You know
so yeah, we need people to pick the camera up because all of us was upset.
Yeah, absolutely.
But if we're not doing anything about it, we're part of the matrix. We're not being enough of a glitch to do anything about it. And you see, the glitches have actually worked. We've been seeing convictions. We've been seeing a level of accountability that brings the right attention. We've experienced, you know what I'm saying, extreme separation. And a lot of people that finally got offended. The offense drove the accountability outcomes.
Yeah.
Like, because we've been convicted for our own murders in the court of public opinion.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Before it even goes to trial.
Before it even goes to trial. It's all in the news.
We get blamed for getting shot by the police when we unarmed.
It's like Sandra Bland. You said, spoke of it perfectly. Like, you know, she was killed for having a voice. You know, they locked me up for having a voice, but she was murdered for having a voice. And same thing with MLK. They put a bullet in his head just for having a voice. You can't sometimes, you know, you can't be, it's just what it seems to be the consensus is you can't be black in this country and have a voice.
Yeah. That's the popular narrative. But even we have to change that.
Absolutely.
So, in conversation on Code Talk, it's the key to doing it. Because we all want the same things, man.
Yeah.
We just got different paths to get into it.
Yeah, true.
And we have to respect other people's journey to getting there. Which is why, like I said, I keep going back to it, man. I think you're an extraordinary individual.
Appreciate it.
I believe in.
Likewise.
I want you to get your flowers.
Okay, I appreciate.
While you doing the work that
yeah.
other people don't want to do.
Yeah.
They shouldn't hear about it after after something negative or until somebody has a negative agenda. Let me say it that way, because you can't control what motivates people to be disrespectful. But all you can do is live your life the right way. I've been telling people, man, I did it the hard way.
Yeah.
And by the hard way, I mean, like, it's hard to do things the right way. You know what I'm saying? It's hard not being enticed by, you know what I'm saying, street money, fast money, dope money. Yeah. Especially when you got access. Yeah. And you know all it takes is a text message. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because there's code in that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But what you can't predict is how other people respond to pressure. Because they're gonna be you. Because when you got code, you know what I'm saying, you already moving like a boss.
Already.
Other people get in line with what you're doing because they need to connect to you, because everything you do make other people grow. They see your value.
Yeah. And they gravitate towards it.
Yeah.
Likewise.
Yeah.
Too, you know?
Exactly.
You know, I see this, you know, likewise. I gave you the flowers, you know, it's definitely great to be a part of the movement and the things and just being on code and for you to have to create a code and to bring the right type of people in the mix to be on code.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's by design.
Man, look, we are responsible for the intelligent design.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Mm-hmm.
it don't just happen that way.
Yeah.
You don't just get plopped into a situation. You have to do work to be able to access the situation.
Yeah, you're right.
The work gives you the knowledge, so you know what the conversation is about.
Yep.
If you don't put in the work.
Yep. If we haven't been putting in the work, we would have never even been brought to each other. I would have still been sitting on the couch looking, whatever was I was doing before I was doing this, and we never would even came together.
You never will get out of the matrix if you don't find purpose.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Purpose is the key to understanding what to do with the matrix once you realize that you're a part of the matrix. Yeah. A lot of people don't think that they're part of the matrix. But at the same time, they'll question why they went through the dumb shit that they went through. You see what I'm saying?
Why you think, bro? You in the matrix, bro?
Why you think you can speak from love and people confuse what you say? Why you think you can speak from love about what you want to accomplish to people that you do love, and they still not understand you? That's a question, right? Because we put falsely assigned value on variables that we can't control. Like they'll tell you family is special.
Yeah.
But you'll be born into a family full of dope dealers and killers. Is that family really special?
Right.
Is that family more special than the one that sends his kids off to college to become lawyers, scholars, somebody that adds value back to their community?
Yeah.
Are we gonna really give, favor to those that do more destruction to our own people? Than not. Who's the glitch?
Yeah, it's important that we recognize that, and we'll be able to, like you said, everybody ain't gonna come.
No, we don't need everybody to come though.
You don't need.
We just need the right people.
Yeah,
that's it.
And we have to be able to teach the youth to be able to recognize that. And I think that's very important that we bring our youth along. They the ones that need it the most, and they're the ones that can affect the most change.
Man, I got an idea that it's not just the youth need the most. We need the youth to get it so they can protect us. Like these youth that are out here now, if we don't deal with them now, they're gonna kill us. You understand what I'm saying? Like we got to be thinking about our old age.
Yeah.
What does that look like?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We talking about integrating the pandemic that's gonna probably have like another 2-3 strong iterations. And then it's gonna mutate and become something else. Because it's already what it's done now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you're raising kids in an environment where they're not communicating like they used to 3 years ago. You see what I'm saying?
Pandemic babies.
You know what I'm saying? There's a big difference in what you would text somebody in 2019 than what you would text them right now.
True.
You know what I'm saying?
Very true.
So the children are going to be, I guess, the measuring stick for that communication. So if they don't get it right, imagine what it's like when that demographic of youth that doesn't get it right still winds up connecting with each other out of confusion. You see what I'm saying? Then we get another Pandora's box type of situation. You know what I'm saying? On top of health issues, economic issues, and you see what I'm saying?
In 2025.
Yeah, shit. It might be 2030. You got to be thinking about 2040, fam.
Yeah. That's scary.
That's scary. You see what I'm saying? Like, what do you think these kids will be doing in 2040?
They're gonna be in their 20s,
30s. I'll wait. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not that easy.
But it's important. I think it's important that we do the groundwork now.
Yeah.
To be, because I feel like the generation before us dropped the ball. To be honest,
I wouldn't say that they dropped the ball. I don't think they had access to the same things we got access to. Like one of the things I'll say in flipping houses is that the worst thing you could ever do is, as a contractor, is talk shit about the last contractor.
That's true.
They had a specific space to fill for the time that they had it, and that's it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We can't
There's
even.
a lot of things that came into play. You know, you're right. There's a lot of things that they was working against,
And that was working against them.
Yeah.
Like for the most part, we accept that we're gonna always have something to work against us. But if we never start, never do anything, and never complete it, we don't have space to critique somebody that came before us. We got more resources.
Yeah.
We should be talking about solutions.
Like when they say, what's that term?
I'm
not my ancestors.
Yeah.
I kind of hate that term because
I hate that a little bit. That's some matrix shit.
Yeah, you can't. I hate. I'm not my ancestors. Like, what you mean you're not your ancestors? Like,
but you are.
It was people, just because you don't know what you wasn't around when they was doing what they was doing, so you can't say you're not your ancestors, because it was people still out there running up in the houses, as a slave. It was slaves running up in the house, rebelling.
Yeah.
They don't teach you that, though.
They don't teach you that.
They don't teach you that.
I mean, and that's the thing. If you don't go seek it, you damn sure you're gonna be taught it. Because you can be taught by the person that wrote it. They ain't got to be there.
Yeah,
when you read it, you're being taught if you're receptive and coachable. A lot of people don't want to be receptive and coachable.
Yeah.
They want to go against the machine. They want to stay in a fight. I accept that I'm gonna probably be in a fight, but that don't necessarily mean I want to stay in one.
Right.
I just go in it with the with the wherewithal, and knowing that I'm going to be competed with first. So I have to make sure I don't compete.
Yeah. Okay.
This is how I maintain control of myself. Like, that's the best thing you can always control is yourself.
Absolutely.
When you give people sweat off your forehead, they got a metric to say, "Oh, I got it."
Yeah.
Now you got nothing. You got nothing but.
Well, what I give you.
Well, yeah. Like, what you gonna do with what I gave?
Yeah.
And I try to tell people that, you know what I'm saying, especially when you start doing this social media space stuff. You can't be out here overreacting. You can't be out here.
Yeah, you got to be able to.
Bro, you take 30 seconds on a clip, boy, you be famous. You be on a t-shirt. You be out here the wrong way. Yeah. Think about what you do when somebody does something wrong. And you're an intelligent person that's looking for a chink in the armor. What happens when you get something? Now think about what a dummy can go do.
Yeah.
Hey man, let's take a break. Turn some music on and relax a little bit. And you know what I'm saying? We're gonna step out. Turn that mic down over there. Let me show you how to DJ a little bit.
Yes, sir.
And then you good right
there. Yeah. That's good shit right there, man. What was how was it earlier?
It's been dry like this.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Let's start this. It's Friday.
Yeah. Take it all, take it all, take it all, take it all. Just can't get enough. Take it all, take it all, take it all, take it all. Never show me I can't be paid. Take it all, take it all, take it all, take it all. Just can't get enough. Show me that can't be paid. Show me that can't be paid at all. Hey, hey.
What up, Mazio Holmes? What up, Dow? Just can't get enough. What my man T say? He showed up today.
Oh, he been around. Yeah, he came through earlier. But he gotta go check on the dogs. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
We had a good ass conversation last night about the fucking Cowboys.
Yep.
But I'm like, every Cowboy fan I run into said the same shit.
Yep.
But I'm like, hey, the way Jake talked about the Cowboys last night,
You gotta accept it.
they better kick some ass tomorrow, bro. Cause I'm clowning. I'm gonna bring that conversation back up. He said the boys stacked, they ready to go to work on anybody. Do you think so? You agree? The Cowboys gonna do their thing this year?
Don't think you got the choice. Because it's been after COVID. Shit.
I told him, I said, give me one name that's gonna validate everything you talking about right now. He said that.
Yeah, I think it has to be him.
I'm like, hey,
The Cowboys started to win up.
yeah, that's scary right there.
When they beat somebody, they score the points. It's a real beat.
I done heard that conversation before. Like I told him, I done heard this same story. Like plenty of time, every Cowboy fan I'm coming from over the past 10, 15 years said the same shit every year.
They in the Matrix.
That boy Jigs ain't gonna want to hear that shit, boy. I'm like, man, I'm so sick of hearing that. I'm like, bro, y'all just like y'all the same as Green Bay. I'm like, y'all been saying the same shit for the past decade. Y'all get to the y'all good in the regular season. Y'all mount the motherfuckers up.
For who you fuck?
I can't even say. I
Because Lions fan?
Yeah,
You can't speak on nobody.
I can because them like them Texas teams be cheating, bro. But what happened the last time Detroit ran into the Cowboys?
I don't know. Nobody
Cheated. They fucking cheated. So I mean, of course, I ain't got no leg to stand on, but if you're gonna be a Cowboy fan, like you ain't got no leg to stand on either.
Mm-hmm.
You know, yeah, y'all got 4 Super Bowl, but that's still. I was damn near baby when that's the last time y'all won the bowl.
Mm-hmm. I understand.
So I can talk that shit, but I'm like, hey, if the way you spoke about the Cowboys yesterday, I'm like, if they don't get their ass moved by San Fran, bro, If they do get the ass whooped by San Fran, I'm gonna be on your ass. Because San Fran got the most. You think so? Yeah. Because they got to lose. Yeah, and it ain't going into Jerry's world. I'm saying if they come into Jerry's world and work out with y'all, bro, it's gonna be bad. I know Cowboys. Yeah, I know you're not. But yeah, I definitely know I know they say I can't say shit. I'm just trying to be prepared. When you talk about somebody else's team, they suck. So now who you a fan of? Yeah, I can talk that shit because I'm like, hey, you can say whatever. You already know what my team doing, but I ain't bigging their ass up either. You know what I'm saying? Your team doing the same shit. Y'all winning this year, but just being objective. I already know my team, so that ain't nothing to make. But your team, yeah, they doing better than my team, but I ain't letting them blow. You know? Same with Green Bay. Yeah, they smacking Detroit up every day, every week. Y'all smacking everybody up. Green Bay smacking everybody up in the regular season. But what happened when you get to the playoffs? Smacked up. So until I see y'all be the favorites every single year. And I've heard this story before. What's gonna happen when y'all get? What's gonna happen when it comes down to the come down? Mm-hmm. That's what I need to know. Because I done heard this story before. Yeah, my team sucked, but I done heard this story before. Let's wrap it up, man.
I like the little cricket setup. I like what you did right there. Move the camera a little bit.
I was out here in there grooving and then.
Oh yeah, man. What we got? Man, this is what I like about Code Talk, man. It's owned by the people. You know what I'm saying? Owned by the people. It's designed to bring good conversation. And within good conversation, it can't all be solely about business. You know what I'm saying? Like you have to have some balance. You know what I'm saying? And one of the things that we balance here and we have fun about is the sports conversation. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So
speaking of that, what happened to them damn Bama boys?
Man, look.
We ain't even had that conversation. I don't know if you've been speaking about it, but that's...
Well, man, like I look at it like this. Can't win them all.
Yeah.
But my team is always in a place that most teams aren't. In the game.
In the game, yeah.
In the game.
I know you was old because you ain't even come. We was here watching me right here. I don't know where you was at, but I'm like, man, my man Vic out here.
I was in Amsterdam.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I was chilling. You know what I'm saying? I was cool. I was at the house. You know what I'm saying? Amsterdam. You know what I'm saying?
Amsterdam.
I was having a great life. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, I know you was. I'm like, hey.
Yeah.
I'm like, hey, they can't, like you said, they can't win them all. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But I'm happy for George. They finally got one on y'all. You know what I'm saying?
Man, look, that's fine. You know what I'm saying? Yo, I ain't doing no tripping. You know what I'm saying? Like
I know it burnt you up though.
now I was like I watch football enough to know that like okay, we can't win today. Like I genuinely look at it like, oh, okay, it's just not in the cards for us today. You know what I'm saying? So like I don't get offended the same way a lot of people would hope that I get offended.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
and even in that, there's power in that. You know what I'm saying? Because y'all not finna do me in on
What kind of conversation? What kind of phone calls you got after that? I know you got some phone calls.
I probably did, but I didn't
so
answer.
you ain't want to answer them phone calls.
They need to, like they seen it. Like the funny part is that they know they need it more than I do. Like you can't hurt my feelings with you know what I'm saying, the outcome of a game or you know what I'm saying. Like you can't do that to me.
Yeah.
Like I just enjoy the game.
Okay,
See, there's a lot of people, they need that outcome.
Yeah.
A lot of people hate winners now. You know what I'm saying? Being a winner ain't cool no more.
Yeah.
Think about it. Think about like how people respond to like people still debating if Tom Brady's the GOAT.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I believe he has some help. You know what I'm saying? Like
it doesn't even matter. It's just the bottom line that's even a conversation.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Like we still arguing if Tom Brady's the GOAT.
Right.
This man 45 years old playing, he just won a Super Bowl.
Who's the GOAT of all GOATs though?
In what sport? It's just
all sports combined. Who's the GOAT of all GOATs?
Man, if I had to answer today, right now, I feel comfortable answering with Serena.
Ooh,
tennis
I never thought you would have said that one.
Yeah, man, look, professional tennis.
She in the class by herself though. She, you know, tennis is like a single sport. You know what I'm saying? You know you're the end all be all in tennis,
which is why I answered the question with the way I answered.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah,
a lot of
like
sense.
I think individual sports professionals have to be considered first.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely agree with
like why would you dismiss their experience?
They're the only ones out there. Who else gonna do it if not them?
If not them, then who? Especially if it ain't you.
And they working out on the whole league by themselves.
Yeah, you gotta respect that. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, you gotta respect that. I definitely agree.
Yeah, so like it's not a slight.
I'm sure a lot of people would disagree with you with that though. Just
I don't
by
care.
when you say the name Serena Williams, they're like, who?
Yeah, I don't care what they disagree with. It don't matter.
I definitely agree with you though.
Yeah, like you know how do you know how deliberate you have to be to go out your way to prove that she's not?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you got to be egregious with it.
You got to be real disrespectful.
Mm-hmm. Got to definitely be egregious.
Just like you have to go out of your way to prove that, you know what I'm saying, that Serena's not the GOAT.
Yeah, you got to be stupid with it to say she's not.
You got to be dumb.
Who else you gonna put in? Who else you gonna put in?
Who's gonna be in there? Who? Yeah, like what's your?
Especially in tennis, and if you just talking about tennis alone, but even in all the other sports, I think you could probably put the name like Tiger Woods into the category.
Oh yeah, I think so too.
You know what I'm saying?
I am not disagreeing with none of that.
That's another individual sport.
Yep. Yeah, because like can't nothing play for you. Nothing.
Yeah. Who gonna swing the club?
Who
gonna swing that racket for you?
Who?
Just you. It's just you out there. So if you take the L, that's you taking that L.
Yeah. So you gotta explain yourself. Ain't nothing wrong with taking an L either. You know what I'm saying?
Wrong with that.
But
she done gave out a lot of L's.
Yeah, exactly. You like
He gave a ton of
you know how
L's.
many L's you got to give somebody before they when you're in that spectrum, man. You know how much winning you have to do in order for people to not like you no more.
Right.
You know how much
You gotta
winning?
be giving out
You
a
know how
lot
much
of L's.
do you know how much winning people have to see you? You know how much winning people have to witness for them to not like you no more.
You got to do a lot of winning. You got to do a lot of winning, and I think like prime example when we just talked about Tom Brady, even though he is a team sport, but I kind of your point was made when I said that, you know, Tom Brady, like, you know, he's the GOAT, but like I said, I came out and hated on his ass. Like he had a lot of help because it's a team sport. But at the end of the day, he gave a lot of L's.
Yeah, he gave plenty of L's.
Plenty of L's. And you know, that's the prime example. It kind of,
bro, you got to go out of your way to diminish what he got going on. You know what I'm saying?
You got to definitely go out your way. I agree.
Yeah, like
even with a team sport,
like it's awkward to introduce. like what's the segue to bring up that Tom Brady's trash?
Right. I ain't go that far, but
you know what I'm saying.
You got to go a lot. You got to go farther to segue into that. I agree.
Man, look, you do like you really have to come up with a level of logic and
like with LeBron James. You know, a lot of people hate on LeBron, but he done held down the Eastern Conference for a damn decade and a half.
Man, that dude held out his legacy.
Yeah, that's before they was hating on him while he was on the East. Then he went to the West and started working out on the whole Western Conference.
Man, I don't know, man. I think a lot of people follow individuals nowadays, and I follow, you know what I'm saying, what it takes to win.
Mm-hmm.
And that just comes down to, you know what I'm saying, like, what do you want to do? You know, how successful you want to be and how you want to be remembered. I'd much rather remember that somebody was working towards trying to accomplish something than sit back hating on somebody.
Yeah.
That's a lot of energy.
I agree. I definitely agree with you.
Man.
But with the individual sports, you can't hate.
No, you can't. You can't talk crazy.
You can't.
The thing is, like,
you can say
in most situations that involve team sport, the people that's critiquing play team sports.
Yeah.
So they feel like they can have a valid level of input, but you ain't never played. You know what I'm saying, in a team sport, your opinion ain't gonna be held in the same regard. And if you damn sure ain't never played no individual sport like tennis,
yeah.
At a high level,
tennis, yeah.
We certainly not listening to you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So we get to the end of this thing, you know what I'm saying? And I want to leave the people with something.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking about having qualified opinions, you know what I'm saying, while within the matrix. Because while you're in the matrix, you can find yourself shaming people and not recognizing your impact, you know what I'm saying, by shaming them. Because you see them wanting to get out, they don't know how.
Yeah.
But they got to figure that out on their own, right? We accepted that, you know? So the point being is that you got to be, you know what I'm saying, flexible.
Yeah.
You got to be, you know what I'm saying, available to support people where they may not necessarily have the experience to behave the way that they need to behave, but they might be receptive and coachable enough to where they'll raise their hand and say, hey, look, I need a little bit more. I don't know what I don't know. I ain't there yet. I don't know what I don't know.
And that's respectable.
So, with that being said, for those of you that may still be in the matrix, and for those of you that recognize that you're in the matrix and you're doing something about your position in it, it is imperative that you do not shame the people that have not come to the same understanding as you. It is imperative for you to set reference points within the matrix.
Mm.
Breadcrumbs. Once you recognize that you're in it.
Yeah.
Because you have loved ones that can benefit from your knowledge and experience.
Not just loved ones, but whoever's watching.
Whoever's watching.
Whoever's watching.
Yeah. So I want to leave you with these questions. I always leave with questions. What are you prepared to do to add value to your community? What are you prepared to do? What are you prepared to do to break away from the matrix and get other people out? What are you prepared to do to create a dialogue of economic freedom that creates a conversation that shows others how to get out? You know, because we got too many right answers. We got too many people telling us what we should and shouldn't be doing. And in the presence of statements, that's usually the absence of the right question.
Yeah.
So I want to ask some questions that may or may not be right for you.
Yeah.
But the question need to be asked because questions trigger dialogue.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
So with that being said, I just want to say good night. I appreciate your participation. Kevin, with no questions about it, I appreciate you coming through. You know what I'm saying? Participating in Code Talk.
Absolutely.
Having the conversation that we need to have. You know, we got to find our way out of the matrix, baby. You know what I'm saying?
We got to.
Hey, hold up. Before we get ready to leave, what we got going on?
Might have a
Hold on.
cold conversation.
What's happening? Yeah, we still up in here, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was getting ready to sign it off. You know? It's my 7 to 10. And you called like right at the end. I got ready to drop my closing.
Tell her he got to close it out now. Put him on the mic.
I'm gonna put you on the mic right now. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead and take my people up out of here.
Red, let me know when I'm on the mic.
Hey, hold on. I'm about to turn you up right now so you can talk. Hang on.
Close it out, big dog.
Yo. So for
my
those
turn to speak, man. Let me.
Hey, we waiting on you now.
I got the mic.
Yeah, you got the mic, bro.
Mic check 1 2 1 2. Mic check 1 2 1 2.
Hey man,
All right.
go ahead and introduce yourself to the people.
Yeah, man, this is your boy, the revolutionary activist, author, and educator, the man, the myth, the legend, Clarence Williams. Ooh. Y'all know, man, we appreciate y'all for being with us today. You know what time it is. BB's in your face. It's Cold Talk with your boy, Victor Vinziant, and my brother, and all our partners and our associates and our friends. We appreciate y'all. Be blessed. In the same way I take myself out when I go, I like y'all to stay dangerous and be the light of the world. Appreciate y'all. Cold Talk 2022. It will come. We on our way, baby.
Absolutely. Man.
Hey, we appreciate you, brother. I see you in a little bit. I'm getting off of here, folks. Hey, man, if you enjoyed this, make sure you catch, you know what I'm saying, the published content that'll be on YouTube, my Facebook. You know what I'm saying? Like, subscribe, share. Check out my links on Linktree. Come support the Patreon. Hit me up. You know what I'm saying? Let's get this merch going. You know what I'm saying? Like, why you ain't got your V's yet? You know what I'm saying?
V's yet.
Yeah, what's holding you up? You know what I'm saying? You see it.
Yes, sir.
But until we meet again, you know what I'm saying? On that path of getting to the money, getting to generational wealth, breaking curses, you know what I'm saying?
Yes,
and adding value, you know what I'm saying? I wish you well in the matrix as you negotiate your way out, you know what I'm saying? The economic freedom. With that being said, this is Victor Vinziant with Code Talking. I'm out. Holla at you.